My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. We got a lot to cover. Oh boy, do we ever. And I wasn't expecting this tape that leaked out of President Trump, which is fantastic. We'll get to that and a whole bunch more. One more quick commercial, and then we will be on the air. And of course, today's show, we're here on the 4th of July, our day off, sponsored by My Pillow today. Oh boy, here we go. So much to cover. There's not usually so much on a holiday as there is now. Usually holidays are pretty slow, but not this one. This is a busy, busy 4th of July. All right, here we are live on the 4th of July. My name is Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. And we are here on a holiday sponsored today by My Pillow. So we'll be talking about that as the show goes on. So go to mypillow.com, use our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, and really load up today, okay? Because they brought us in here on a holiday, and we want to show that it was worth it for them to do that. And worth it for me, because this morning as I was getting up and ready, I was like, really? My wife, she woke up, she said, really, shouldn't you have taken today off? And I said, well, we'll find out. I'll let you know after the show if I should have taken the day off. We've got a lot to cover, a lot to get into. We will be taking your calls. I was very surprised how busy the road was this morning. There were a lot of cars on I-95. I was in shock. Tomorrow's the rough day. The 5th of July, tomorrow morning is like when the drunks are out on the road. There's some drunks out from last night, but tomorrow morning is when the real drunks are out there. So be careful today and tomorrow. A lot of drunks on the road. Okay, so let's get into it. There's two pieces of huge video that dropped last night. One of them is President Trump in the golf cart right down the street at his golf course, Trump National, where Jupiter Joe Thomas had his daughter's wedding. And I didn't tell you guys about that for a while because I didn't know if he wanted people to know, but I guess after the fact it doesn't matter. But President Trump was in the golf cart with Barron and went off on Kamala and Joe Biden. I'm going to play that in a minute. It's beautiful. There's a bleep in it. President Trump used the F word. And then Tom Finton, who's a very muscular man, Tom Finton, isn't he? Oh, my goodness. I don't know what that guy does to work out, but he is ripped. Tom Finton of Judicial Watch also dropped something pretty big. So I'm going to start with that here early on in the program, and then we will progress. But I got to kind of get out of holiday head because I won't be watching the fireworks tonight. I'll go to bed early because I'm going to be here tomorrow live too. And our number, of course, is 888-465-2631. Let's start with President Trump, and then after the break, I'll get into Tom Fenton. And a lot of things happened yesterday involving the chaos at the White House and the Democrat Party's complete self-destructive mode that they're in. And don't believe these stories that the governors who had that meeting yesterday with Biden were all happy. No, that is not exactly what we were told in the press conference of governors is not exactly what happened. We're going to get into that as well. But anyway, President Trump was, hold on, where am I hearing that from? President Trump was in his golf cart, on his golf course with Barron and some guys. I don't know who these guys were or are. I have no idea who they are. But these guys with Barron, they they stopped, they talked to Barron, they talked to Trump, and Trump just went off. And they released the video online, and it's gone viral. So let's play this, and I think it's pretty funny, pretty accurate. This is President Trump in the golf cart.
gave me so much. How did I do with the debate the other night?
Oh, amazing.
That old broken down pile of crap.
Yeah.
It's a bad guy. He just quit, you know. He's quitting the rest.
Is that right?
Yep, I got him out of the race. And that means we have Kamala. I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic.
It's so amazing.
She's so bad. So
I just can't imagine.
But can you imagine that guy dealing with Putin and the president of China, who's a fierce person? He's a fierce man, a very tough guy. And they see him, they probably, he can't. But they just announced he's probably quitting.
Good.
Okay?
Yeah,
Just keep knocking him out. No?
Okay, so President Trump said he's probably quitting. Kamala's an effing disaster. And, you know, a lot of people are making predictions on how this is going to play out with Biden. Trump, when he makes a prediction like that, that's like an educated opinion because he hears from people that are in the know, who are in the circle. But the story is forever evolving. There are different things happening at every moment of every day. Making a prediction on this, what Biden's going to do, is he going to stick with the nomination? Is he going to not run? Is he going to be forced out of office? It's really impossible to make a prediction because things are in such flux. And Tom Finton, though, made a prediction, which I'll play in a few minutes, which is a pretty interesting one. But I watched Jean-Pierre's White House press conference yesterday. Did you guys see this? It was insane. It was epic. The entire White House press corps has turned on Biden and are calling for him to drop out. Really, it seems as if the White House press corps in unison are calling for him not to just drop out of the race, but leave the presidency. They're demanding that he come out and have a live press conference with them, and a lot of things came out. I'm going to go through some of that press conference today. But Jean-Pierre, that press conference, I don't know exactly how long it went on, but it was a long one. It was a very long press conference. And it was question after question about Biden's mental state. It was just over and over and over again. And at first I was watching it, and I was listening to it. I was in the car listening to it. And I thought, wow, she's getting battered. And then I realized how long I'd been listening, and then I started to think this. Is Jean-Pierre part of the team undermining Biden? You know, I'll explain what I mean by that. You know, Jean-Pierre could end that press conference at any time. She's not required to even take questions. They have some press releases. She could come out and give her a little press release or a little briefing and leave. But she had a prolonged press conference, and it was question after question about Biden's cognitive issues. And it was rough. When I play some of the clips, you'll see and hear. And I started thinking to myself, maybe she is prolonging this press conference, Jean-Pierre, because she's trying to get rid of Biden too. You know, I had a story a couple days ago. Was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember, but it was the one in the New York Post and Politico, and they said that the people that work around him are terrified of him. A White House insider told Politico everyone on the staff is scared S-less of Biden, that if you tell him something he doesn't want to hear, he goes off. And I saw Biden once shut down Jean-Pierre live on television, and it was pretty humiliating. They were on Air Force One. He was taking questions from reporters on Air Force One. Jean-Pierre was standing behind Biden, and she interrupted him and came in to shut down the press conference. And Biden lost his cool. I played it on the air at the time. I don't have the clip now, but I remember it clearly. He turned around, pointed at her, and said, "Don't interrupt me again." And she said, "Yes, sir." And that was a major public humiliation in front of the press corps that she's always trying to wrangle, that she's kind of in charge of. And it was also on television. And who likes to be talked to that way? You know, and I imagine this article that came out the other day that everyone's scared S-less of him, that he's like that a lot. Jean-Pierre plans on having a political life after Biden. A lot of these people do. And there's no future with Joe Biden. Biden's done. The Democrat Party is almost in 100% agreement that he's got to go. And they're still working to get rid of him. So which side would Jean-Pierre be on? Would she be on loser Biden's side? He's going to be out in 6 months no matter what happens. Or is she undermining Joe Biden? And I would say, based on that press conference yesterday, whoever is working to get him to drop out or even resign, that's what side she's fallen down on. It's obvious. I mean, why would she keep that press conference going? You know, if I didn't want to take calls, I don't have to take calls. If she doesn't want to take questions, she doesn't have to take questions. Okay? And the only reason I can think of that she would have such an extended, brutal press conference is that she's trying to get rid of Biden, too. What are your thoughts on that? I'd very much like to hear it. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. We've never seen a battle like this inside the Democrat Party, maybe not even the Republican Party at this level. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're calling from. It's the 4th of July. We are here live, sponsored by MyPillow. And if you go to MyPillow.com and use our promo code Kane, of course, there are incredible deals. I had my wife order me some of the MyPillow socks last night. They have white and black socks, so I had her order both. I need some new socks. You know, I've lost my other socks. I've just lost. I don't know. They got lost in the laundry. I have no matching socks anymore. So I had my wife. And the MyPillow socks are so cheap. They're almost free with our promo code Kane. I mean, I'm embarrassed to even talk about them, but they're $3.75 with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and they're beautiful socks, both white and black. They have high socks, low socks, ankle socks, all that stuff. So I had my wife order me some of those white and black, the short socks. And they're just $3.75 with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. This morning, before I left the house, our new kittens, Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola, they were sound asleep in my hallway on the MyPillow pet bed. You know, our MyPillow pet beds, we've had these for years. The original animals that I had them for are in doggy and kitty cat heaven. We've had them so long, they've all passed away. But, you know, we wash them. You dry them, and they're like the day they arrived. It's absolutely amazing because you put the entire bed in the wash. It has that same patented fill inside the pet bed that's inside the MyPillow, and the entire pet bed is cleaned inside and out. The MyPillow pet bed's just $25 with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. They come in different sizes. I have the big ones, but they come in tiny sizes for little tiny pets, medium and large. I have the large ones. They come in different colors as well, just $25 with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. But remember, you can use our promo code Kane on all the specials at MyPillow.com, not just the ones that I talk about. All right, we'll take our first break of this Independence Day and be right back.
Don't sit on the sideline.
What do you guys think? Do you think Jean-Pierre is undermining Biden? That's the only thing I could think of to prolong that press conference. It's the only thing. I don't wear socks with the checkerboard Vans. You don't wear socks with the checkerboard Vans, okay? Those are shoes you wear without socks. But I'm wearing Vans with laces right now with blank socks. Hey, I don't know if you can see. I don't think you can see them. I can't lift my leg up that high. I think she's undermining him. There's no way she wouldn't prolong the press conference. It was brutal. Absolutely brutal.
to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642.
Are you guys working or off work today in the chat room? There were a lot of cars on the road today. I don't know if those were people on the way to work or on the way out of town. Oh yeah, that's what I mean by this. I might go to Tom Finton later, since we're talking about this. Let me get to the Jean-Pierre clips. I wasn't going to do those till later in the show, but since it's on my mind.
I am pleased to say our relationship with the Steve Kane Show and the show's listeners keeps getting stronger and stronger. The Steve Kane Show listeners are truly the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, intelligent, honest, and quite a joy to work with. We have completed thousands of projects for the listeners, from repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches, with great success, and every one of those customers are like family. We have installed all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingles, clay, and concrete tiles, to metal ceilings.
I've got the clips from yesterday. I'm just going down to them. Okay.
So come on, and let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602, or find us on the web at laportacontracting.com. The number again is 954-604-4602.
The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True.
All right, 21 minutes after the hour. We'll get to Tom Finton later. I'm gonna stick with Jean-Pierre now. I wasn't even going to play these on the air today. I went through most of them on my podcast last night, but I want to go through them again because it wasn't just a brutal press conference. It went on, it seemed like, for hours. I don't know. Does anyone know how long the press... It was long. She took a lot of questions. And every question was about Biden's mental fitness. And what she did, it was not just did she not... It's not just that she had a long press conference where every question was about it. She took questions, sometimes multiple questions, from pretty much every member of the television and print media yesterday that she possibly could. And the reason to do that, if she's undermining Biden, is to give every major media outlet a personal soundbite with their personal White House correspondent. You understand what I mean? So Jean-Pierre, this is some real sabotage going on here. Would that be considered passive-aggressive? Passive-aggressive behavior is how I would also describe this. Total sabotage. These people in the White House are in such chaos, maybe they don't see it. But that's what it looks like to me, and you'll hear when I go through this, because the White House correspondents, when they have their own soundbite with them in it, they're always going to it, right? On that channel, whatever channel that is, whatever network it is, or cable outlet. And she made sure that every major corporate media, fake news outlet had their own personal soundbite to keep this dialogue going about Biden's cognitive failures. And I'll go through some of them. Let's see here. These are in no particular order because I didn't plan on playing these at all this morning, but I want to do it since I've been talking about it.
Would invite the president to come here and tell us that directly.
Noted, Kelly.
But
He's awake.
that's inappropriate.
As you heard from your colleague, the president of the WHA, that's inappropriate.
Okay. Now, that was an interesting exchange. That was Kelly O'Donnell, who was asking the question. She's NBC White House correspondent, and she's the leader of the White House Correspondents Association. And she says, we invite the president to come here for a press conference. And you hear someone in the background say, if he's awake. That was, I believe, James Rosen. Right? And then you heard the reaction. And I don't know why Kelly O'Donnell from NBC News is injecting herself in what another member of the media say. I don't know who she thinks she is, saying that a comment from the media is inappropriate. I thought there was nothing a member of the media could say or do that was inappropriate, but, she's sucking up trying to get an interview is what she's doing. But when James Rosen said, if he's awake, Jean-Pierre's kind of lit up. She seemed to like that. She was smiling.
We would invite the president to come here and tell us that directly.
Noted, Kelly.
But
he's awake.
That's inappropriate.
As you heard from your colleague, the president of the WHA, that's inappropriate. Thank you, Kelly.
Wow. I mean, that was pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. And, I mean, it was like that the whole press conference. It wasn't just the one clip, but that one's a bad one. Okay, here we go. Here's another one.
He is as sharp as ever, as I have known him to be in my engagement, in my experience with him.
See what I mean? See how the dialogue is going here? The dialogue is going in such, it's just ongoing, questioning his fitness. And at no point was anything credible said that would lead anybody watching to think that he was mentally fit.
He's absolutely running.
Yeah. Well, he's saying that, and I'm sharing with you his view.
And we would invite the president to come here and tell us that directly.
Noted, Kelly.
But
He's awake.
That's inappropriate.
Oh yeah, that's the same clip again, but I don't care. It's good every time. So that's NBC, then Fox News.
Clarify Sungman's question.
Sure.
How is it that the president was still tired 12 days after returning from Europe, had a cold, but then went to the Waffle House, and then the following day staged such a huge comeback that he gave those North Carolina remarks? Like, help us understand.
Have you had a cold before?
Of course it has.
Okay, so you probably, well, come on, Jackie. Let's be very, let's be.
12 days after he returned, though.
But
and
you also
jet lag yesterday.
Hold on a second. There's a cold, there's a jet lag. You combine that. He continues to work on for the American people.
Yeah, not total nonsense. I remember during the Monica Lewinsky affair. Okay, what was the name of the guy? Mike McCurry was the guy's name. Mike McCurry was President Clinton's White House press secretary when the Lewinsky affair was going on. He had a press conference every day at noon. He didn't take questions for a year. And sometimes there'd be a big development in the Lewinsky thing, and he would come out and sometimes the press, he would just go through whatever their press announcements were today. And I remember one day he came out with something, it was as trivial as the opening of a new post office. And then you hear everybody go nuts asking questions, and he says no questions. And then Mike McCurry says to all of the networks will now return to our regularly scheduled programming. And he walked off. Mike McCurry didn't take questions for a year to a year and a half during the Lewinsky affair, and he had a press conference every single day of the week. Well, the weekdays, 5 days a week. And he didn't do it because to take the questions and for him to answer would get a dialogue going, would get a narrative going, would prolong stories. And it was crazy. She could do that. Jean-Pierre has chosen not to do it.
Sharp as ever, as I have known him to be in my engagement, in my experience with him.
Yeah, I mean, she's just going on and on. I mean, she doesn't have to do any of this. And it's the more I think about it, she is without question sabotaging Biden. All right, listen, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll get to the calls after the break. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Like your thoughts on this. Is Jean-Pierre undermining Joe Biden? Is she sabotaging Joe Biden? Did she go out of her way to make sure every member of the mainstream media had their own soundbite with their own White House correspondent to get this dialogue of his cognitive decline prolonged in the media? Is she trying to get Biden replaced? 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Now, of course, I put the link to at the top of the chat. It's pinned there to Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. There's also a link in the description of the episode. Okay, and Tom Laporta. We are in hurricane season, rainy season here in Florida. It's going to be raining pretty much every single day. And if you have a wet spot on your ceiling, you got a leak in your roof. Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing will never sell you a roof you do not need. He works with every type of roofing material there is, and he also works on every type of structure: single-family homes, apartment buildings, HOAs, condos, municipal buildings, warehouses, office buildings, churches, schools, whatever type of structure it is, he does it. And he covers a huge area too, from Jupiter south to Miami, from Tampa to Naples, and everywhere in between. He's a good MAGA guy, and he's going to take good care of you. Now, the number I'm going to give you rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone. Give him a call, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's his cell phone. I mean, imagine this big, huge company like Laporta Roofing, and you get directly to the owner like that. No switchboard, no receptionist, no appointment setter. And if you don't have a roofing problem right now or don't need a new roof, take that number down, put it on your refrigerator, because we get hit by a hurricane or a tropical storm. You want to call Tom Laporta right away. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaRoofing.com. Yeah, don't put off fixing your house like Steve Kane did. Oh, my goodness. Steve's house almost didn't make it through the hurricane. It was brutal because he ignored it. All right, we'll be back shortly.
State of Florida, 954.
I want to get the Tom Finton when we get back.
8080 and online, iwilladvisors.com.
Hey, we need a timeout. Is your performance in the bedroom keeping you on the bench? Does fatigue have you feeling subpar? You gotta man up with Game Day Men's Health, where you can find high-quality, effective treatment programs, even if you're on the go. Call 561-355-5341. Testosterone therapy rejuvenates you with a renewed joy of life, with a free consultation and test as quick as 15 minutes. Treat your ED with Gaines Wave, non-invasive sound waves in your blood vessels. Proven by clinical research that it is safe and provides long-term results when you're in the bedroom. Consider HGH therapy to rev up your engine with HGH peptides, helping men fight fatigue and trim belly fat. A 100% bioidentical hormones facility, Game Day Men's Health will get you back in the game in no time. 561-355-5341. Visit our new location in Palm Beach Gardens on the corner of North Lake and North Military Trail. Their enjoyable man cave environment provides refreshments and flat-screen TVs, aided by expert licensed staff who specialize in male health and wellness. Nothing else compares. Call 561-355-5341 or online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com for more information. Don't sideline your well-being. Let Game Day Men's Health help you score big.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to ask you a question. How important is a good night's sleep, and when was the last time you got one? I get one each and every night with the MyPillow mattress topper. They're 50% off now with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. Pair it with new pillows and those fabulous Giza Dream Sheets. There's huge discounts on those too. Free shipping on all orders over $75 with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. You'll thank me in the morning.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years.
Absolutely, we are back on this 4th of July. Oh my, we're probably the only people on the air live. Oh, the nice listener who brought me coffee yesterday, I got to tell you this, because I found out something about that yesterday, okay? Do you know that she lives 20 miles from the radio station? She drove 20 miles each way to bring me that coffee yesterday. Isn't that nuts? And when she got it, after she left the coffee shop, she spilled the coffee and went back to the coffee shop. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that crazy? Shawna, so I appreciate that, Shawna. That's some dedication. And that is the only time I have ever consumed anything edible that a listener has ever brought to me. Ever. I don't even eat when we go to our appearances when there's listeners around, because I don't, we've got some bad people around, There was, well, I don't want to tell that story, but there was we got some bad people around when it comes to eat food. I just don't trust them. All right, so let's get back to the issues. But I wanted to thank Shawna for the coffee. I can imagine she drove 40 miles round trip to bring me that coffee yesterday. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, so Tom Finton, who's a very connected guy. He's the head of Judicial Watch, although he's not a lawyer, which I don't understand how that works. I don't know why the head of Judicial Watch is not an attorney. Who used to run Judicial Watch before him? It was a famous guy, and I'm pretty sure he was a lawyer. I can't remember who it was now. I was surprised. I found this out a few years ago that Finton isn't a lawyer, but that doesn't matter. He's very well connected. He's very sharp, and he knows what he's talking about. And he is a Washington insider. He is part of that Beltway group, Tom Finton, at Judicial Watch. And when he gives you an opinion about something or makes a prediction like I'm going to share with you right now, that is based on not just his thoughts or his wishes or his analysis. He's giving you information that he's gotten directly from credible sources, okay? So let me share this one with you. This is pretty shocking that he's very specific about this.
News on Joe Biden. I've been hearing that he's going to resign on...
Hold on, let me start it over. I don't know. The internet cut out when I was playing that. Hold on, here we go.
News on Joe Biden. I've been hearing that he's going to resign on...
I don't know why he keeps doing that. Okay, it keeps going silent on the punchline, which is he is hearing that Biden is going to resign on Monday. Let me try it one more time. Let me refresh it. I should have downloaded it, but it was running fine before.
Everyone, I got some news on Joe Biden. I've been hearing that he's going to resign on Monday. The information I have is pretty reliable. Sure enough, the Biden people are putting out there and leaking that he's considering not running for president, stepping aside from the campaign. But given the reasons for him having to do that, his cognitive fitness, it stands to reason he's going to have to leave the presidency as well. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, we should be asking tough questions of Vice President Harris and his cabinet about what they knew and when, about what everyone now knows is his remarkable cognitive challenges that looks like to many Americans make him unfit to be president of the United States.
Okay, so if this was just some guy saying what Finton said, I wouldn't even play the soundbite. But he said that he's getting word from people that Biden is going to resign on Monday. I don't know. I'm not making any predictions on this. I think the whole thing is in flux and everything's changing every 5 seconds on it. So many things are happening, okay? But for him to come out and say that and release that video that's been seen by millions of people at this point, because it just was going viral last night all over the place with different people like me playing it. So literally millions of people have heard that. I don't think he'd go out on such a limb unless he had some credible sourcing telling him that. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen because, like I say, things are changing so much. But what he said at the end is a very fascinating thing. It's time to start asking hard questions to Kamala and Biden's cabinet about how much they've known about Biden's condition and for how long. And while we're always talking about the elder abuse that's committed by Jill, there's a lot of other problems going on, like Fenton's talking about here. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that are going to be in a lot of trouble because what's going to happen, not only is Trump going to win, we're going to have a big one in the House. I don't know about the Senate. The Senate's a little more difficult, okay, because only a third of it's up, and so it's hard to predict how that's going to come out. The House is easy. We're going to sweep in the House. We're going to have a landslide majority in the House. I don't know about the Senate, but we're going to pick up seats in the Senate, no doubt. I just don't know if we'll have a solid majority. I don't know. We'll find out. But without question, there are going to be, in the next term and during the next Congress, there are going to be major congressional investigations into what's going on in the White House because, all the talk about Biden's cognitive issues, I know a lot of conservative people say, well, we've known about this. Things are different now. the Democrats, the left, and the media are now openly admitting it and discussing it endlessly. So now it's real. So all of them allowing this to continue for years is a crime in itself. In fact, if this is I know crazy, but this very well could happen. If Tom Finton is correct and Biden resigns on Monday and Willie Brown's girlfriend becomes the president, she could be impeached instantly within the hour, and I'll tell you why, because she's been covering up for this. She had lunch with Biden yesterday. They have lunch regularly, and she is around him quite often for major meetings. So there's no way you can get around her not knowing how far he's been gone, and she has been criminal in her duties by not invoking the 25th Amendment already. But in the new Congress, there's going to be major investigations into everything that's gone on in the White House so far as Biden's mental capabilities for this entire term. And we talk a lot about how he's so checked out, he obviously isn't running things. Well, that's criminal. And what the House investigations will do is first try to determine at what point he became mentally incapacitated and could no longer run things. It may have been from day one, because I remember in his early days in the White House, he was signing a stack of executive orders, and he even said he didn't know what he was signing. He just signs whatever they put in front of him. And he wasn't joking. He's so out of it, he says things out loud you're not supposed to say. All right? So with the investigations, we'll find out, one, how long and at what point was he totally gone, and then who was running the country, who was giving orders to the military. I've talked about this. If he's mentally incapacitated, and there were others inside the White House who were giving authorization for military action, and there's death involved, they're guilty of murder. There are so many felonies that have been committed in the White House just around the issue of Biden being cognitively checked out. We were talking a couple days ago that he's so far gone now, and since the Democrats are acknowledging it, that when he signs Hunter's pardon, it wouldn't surprise me if in Trump's second term, there's an investigation and there's a move to invalidate the pardon of Hunter, because if he's mentally gone, he can't sign documents. We talk about this a lot with Attorney Barry Siegel with the Revocable Living Trust and the Medicaid planning. There comes a point when mom, dad, grandma, grandpa can't sign documents anymore. And then you're in trouble. You got to take care of these things before. Even with the church, when somebody gets to a certain mental state, or they're incapacitated in the hospital, they can't be saved. The priest can come and give them the last rites, but that's it. They can't, become a Christian at that point if they can't talk. It's not unusual for people to have parents and grandparents that get to a certain point in life and they can't sign documents anymore, and because they haven't set up things with like Attorney Barry Siegel, the family's in a lot of trouble. They have to go to court to get power of attorney. It's a very complex thing. Well, that looks to be the condition that Biden is in. So what Tom Finton is saying are the questions. This is going to be the next phase of this. How long has it been this way? And how has the government been functioning? Because there's no one there that has the authority to give orders and sign bills. There's no one. So whoever's been doing it, and I imagine it's been a bunch of different people, not just Jill, but it's been a bunch of different people. Many of them, maybe all of them, are guilty of incredible felonies. There are people in this Biden White House who are, I think, very likely to be imprisoned over this in the next term. When the Congress comes in and starts investigating the things that went on during the 4 years of Biden's mental incapacity, I think it's going to be worse than we're even imagining. There are things that have happened that I don't think we really even want to know, really. one of the things they're going to look at is the botched withdrawal from Afghanistan. The way that went down was not from the orders of a guy that was in control. The withdrawal from Afghanistan was such a disaster. That would probably be the point that the congressional investigation would start. What was his mental state then? And since they've all acknowledged that he's out of it, the Democrats, people that have been around him and in the inner circle, it's not going to be so hard to prove. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our last break of the first hour. We are live on this 4th of July, brought to you by MyPillow. Huge deals with our promo code Kane at checkout. I want to tell you, going into the break, though, about Dr. Appleton. Oh, man. If you're in pain, you don't have to be. Now, Dr. Appleton will be closed today for the 4th of July, but he'll be open tomorrow and Saturday. Appointments are not necessary tomorrow, and appointments are not necessary even on Saturday. They're never necessary. Walk-ins are welcome. And the reason Dr. Appleton welcomes walk-ins is because he knows when you're in pain, you need help, you need relief now. You don't need some appointment 2-3 weeks down the road because you're a new patient. You ever call a doctor and you get that racket? Not with Dr. Appleton. Appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. That's absolutely amazing. That's how much he cares. And, of course, the laser away pain treatment works. It's 100% painless. There are no injections, no shots, no downtime, and the best of all part of it is it works. He's rid me of pain 5 times. He wants to do the same for you. Give Dr. Appleton a call. His number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. Call us on hold, stand by. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, has rid me of pain from a knee injury and arthritis pain with his laser away pain treatment. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio to tell me how chiropractic physician Dr. Philip Appleton helped him with his laser away pain treatment. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Sean calling from Boca Raton. I want to thank you guys once again. I've listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thank you for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian and Steve. I went in there last week. I had a knee problem. One session, I feel so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or her arm. She's right-handed. She feels better. It's amazing. And for people out there that are dealing with pain, believe me, there is an alternative. Go in there for the free consultation. FRE free. You will lose. The only thing you'll lose is the pain that you're dealing with. Do not suffer. Go in to see Dr. Appleton, the greatest visit of your life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonChiro.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary. And walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710.
Are you living your best life? Are you feeling the way you know you should be? This is John, CFO at Lighthouse Medical Center. Our hormone optimization therapy programs have helped so many people get back to feeling the way they did in their 20s. They're full of energy after a long day, reduced their risk of heart disease, sexual vigor and excitement are great, sleeping the way they should without disturbances, and reducing their symptoms of aging. Our all-natural hormone optimization therapy is precise, easy, and effective from day one. Office visits are usually less than 5 times per year, and the cost is only $150 per month for most patients. Let our medical team get you optimized and living your best life. Our family medical practice has been serving South Florida for over 71 years. Let us show you what personalized medical care and being treated like family feels like. Call us at 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. Or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today.
Would like to honor all personnel in the United States military with Independence Day approaching. Let's let them know how much we care by sending out a military care package. Just go to your favorite search engine, type in military care package, point, click, and it's that simple. This message is courtesy of Black Rock Bar and Grill, serving the area with pride and integrity. Enjoy the award-winning steakhouse and truly unique dining experience at Black Rock Bar and Grill, 6200 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale.
When it comes to to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633.
Coming back.
954-922-4633.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back, coming up on 51 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. It is the 4th of July. We're here live, brought to you and sponsored today by MyPillow. So make sure you go to MyPillow.com and load up with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, because they're sponsoring the show for today. All right, to the phones we go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, yes. Hey, Richie. Thank you, thank you.
They're behind. When somebody dies, who's the only one that can actually pronounce the death? I mean, you sit there and you know a person's dead.
Yeah, doctor.
Doctor. Now, here comes the White House situation. He wasn't diagnosed by anybody with dementia. They're going to do this after. In other words, the symptoms might have been there, but the common layman, his staff, his vice president, they didn't know. They're going to play stupid. Even though we all know they lied through their teeth to the American people for 4 years.
I wouldn't be so sure because, you know, when Carl Bernstein came out, he said he has sources in the inner circle, and they gave him some stories that we hadn't seen that he told from behind the scenes. There will most definitely be a lot of these people working in the White House are going to be brought in front of Republican committees in the next year in the Republican Congress, and they've got a lot of explaining to do, and including the doctors that see him, because they've been signing off on a clean bill of health, and those are falsified medical records.
Well, they might have said that we never checked his mental capacity. We took it for granted that he was just getting older and he was sharp. You know how they spin things.
No, they're not going to get away with it that easily. There's been too much going on. You know, because the Democrats personally are acknowledging how far gone he is. So now that's out on the record.
Actually, your press secretary, I think that she was sent out there by Joe or somebody to go out there and just air this thing and try to get it out of the way once and for all. Because by not talking about it, it gets worse. And they're in a bad position. Either way, it's going to be bad. He's gone. And then I listened this morning. Believe this when I tell you this. They had a panel on I watched this panel. One was he studied neurology with people, and another was a body expert, body having, and another one actually gave debate prep to a lot of candidates. You know that Biden, the average person blinks 15 times a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? If Biden blinked, it took 27 seconds for Biden to make one blink.
What do they say that's about?
Typical sign of dementia.
Mm.
His hand movement, his breathing. But when they said he had a cold, these guys said not true, because the next day he yelled out when it's somebody with dementia.
Well, and you can see in his face that lost look where he's trying to pretend like he knows where he's at and things like that. I mean, you don't have to be a doctor. I'm telling you that this guy, they're going to haul him in like that thing at D-Day. I mean, I don't say this to make fun, but he went to the bathroom in his pants at Normandy with Macron up there. You know, how many times has that happened? These are the kinds of things that are going to come out in a congressional committee hearing. And this country has been run by illegally for I don't know how many years. Oh, by the way, Tucker Carlson announced he's going to be interviewing Zelensky. I hope he does a better job than he did with Putin, who just steamrolled him. And that's a difficult interview because he's going to have to do it through a translator, okay? And even though Zelensky speaks English, he's going to use the translator to handicap Tucker. Tucker better go in for the kill on that interview and not dilly-dally around.
These people say, by the way, that he had no cold. When somebody with dementia speaks slowly at a low, when he's not, it's the way he's breathing, it doesn't come out the right way. The next morning when he was at that thing in North Carolina and started yelling into the mic, that's when he changes his breathing pattern. That's another sign of dementia. I mean, these people, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah, we know what it is. It's like Scalia said once on a Supreme Court ruling. He says, I can't define pornography, but I know what it is. And a similar thing goes with the dementia. My guess is he has, I think he has Parkinson's, and I think he has Alzheimer's.
Yeah, and I want the people out there to know something. I hope their Democrats listen. Your senators, your congressmen have stuck up for this man and have lied to your teeth. How you could put a Democrat, whether it be congressman or this Coombs, Senator Coombs. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
You put these people in power. You can't trust them. If they're going to lie to your face, and they're still lying to our face, they're still in denial. He's not quitting. Baloney, he's not quitting. He has no...
Well, what Tom Finton said, Tom Finton's talking about resignation, and Monday, that seems pretty quick. One of the things they could tell Jill, okay, resigning's a humiliation. Nixon did it. It's a humiliation, not completing the term. It's only happened once before, and that was with Nixon, and it was very humiliating. They might be able to convince them and make a positive think about it that he'll be making the first woman president. And they might try to make a big thing out of that, yeah.
They're going to spin this. I'll go down as the president that makes first woman of color. And
yes.
A woman of color. And
yes. And of low moral character, too.
Yeah. Probably the first male vice president that's gay.
Yeah, Buttigieg.
Or not. That's the word.
Yeah, Mayor Pete.
It's going to be the next.
Mayor Pete and Kamala.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nobody else wants to work under her. So he'll take it. What a disaster this week for this country.
No, I'm telling you, they're going to try that. That's the kind of thing. Yesterday I was talking about the Obamas are pushing for Kamala in the nomination. If he's not fit to run, he's not fit to hold the office, and they think that they'll have a little bit of a hope of winning if she's the sitting president or the kneeling president, whichever we're going to call her. But they will, if that's what happens, they'll make a big deal about him being responsible for the first female president of color. You are correct, no doubt. All right, Richie, take care. Thanks for the call. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Barbara.
Hey, Barbara.
Happy Independence Day.
Yes.
Richie is your caller of the week. Everything he said is just so on point. When I dialed in, I've been on hold for a bit, you were talking about Tom Fenton, and Tom Fenton does not have a law degree. However, his degree is from George Washington, and to get into George Washington, the GPA is 3.8, so it's summa cum laude.
Oh no, he's brilliant. I just was surprised that he. Years ago, I found this out. I was surprised he wasn't an attorney heading Judicial Watch.
I was surprised too.
Yeah.
I was surprised too. But I guess he's buff enough that the way he looks is okay. But his son, George, does have a degree, and that was why...
Tom Finton should really release a fitness book. That guy knows how to get in shape. He is ripped. I mean, he can hardly wear shirts.
I want to go there with Tom Fenton, okay? Because, yes, absolutely, he is one of the hotties. But he's brilliant, and his son has the degree. But Richie just knocked it out of the park. I mean, just Kamala Harris, they have no choice but Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
And she's an idiot.
Yes.
How can you, they're talking about Gavin Newsom and Gretchen.
No.
Who they're talking about. They cannot they can't step over Kamala.
No, they can't.
Because she's a black DEI person that's in office, she's an idiot, and that's who is going.
And she's a home wrecker. She has sex with married men, which is the worst of the worst. All right, I'm out of time for the hour. You're right on the money, Barbara. You too. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and be right back after this.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar.
She's black and Indian.
Plenty of heat. We, of course, will be up around that 100-degree feels-like temperature once again. Not great chances of rain. May see a passing shower or two. All in all, a very bright and beautiful day here for the 4th of July.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Good afternoon. A new accident reported at US 1 and 18th Avenue South and an earlier crash on northbound 95 at PGA Boulevard. This report sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers. That's traffic. I'm Zach.
PBKC is your enter.
Now, everyone who has ordered a Mighty Manga Lion, we did a big shipment late in the day yesterday. They've all been shipped. If you've not yet ordered your Mighty Manga Lion, order yours. Remember, with each Mighty Manga Lion sold, we make a donation to the Trump campaign. That's right, so we'll be making a donation tomorrow. We'll wait for Friday when everything's back open for the batch we just mailed out. If you go to MightyMangaLion.com, you can order yours. The Mighty Manga Lion is available exclusively through me. It is the only Trump-inspired merchandise wearing the MAGA hat. If you buy more than one, you get a discount. That's right. And he's cute and cuddly. Absolutely. Perfect to cuddle to when you're watching a Trump rally. The convention's coming up. MightyMangaLion.com. There's a link pinned to the top of the live chat right now. There's also a link in the description of the video, or you can just go to the website, MightyMangaLion.com, and order yours. Absolutely.
Community Services Bureau, First Choice Plus, ENT and Allergy Associates of Florida, Dash Mobile Storage, VH Exteriors, St. Lucie Battery and Tire, the Sheridan at Hope Sound, Very Fresh Cafe, Peter J. Meadows Veterans Disability Appeals, Stellar Public Adjusting, Bonefish Max, and Hurricane Grill and Wings. And of course, the True Oldies channel, your official hurricane tracking station.
When you need lab
We'll be back right after this.
hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs, go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor could order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, and these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them.
All right, here we go.
On the radio.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane.
It sure is. Welcome back, one and all. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Show. We are here live on Independence Day. Brought to you by Mike Lindell at MyPillow. The $25 extravaganza continues. $25 for some of the most popular MyPillow items, including the slippers, including the 6-piece MyPillow towel set, and many more of the most popular MyPillow products. And we are here today sponsored by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And remember, you can use our promo code on all the specials at the site. Okay, if you're on hold standby, I want to do a quick recap. We have two pieces of audio, and you put them from very credible people. One of them is President Trump, and the other one is Tom Finton, who heads up Judicial Watch. And we're getting a lot of information here. So first, let me play President Trump again. Now, this one here, this is President Trump. He's in the golf cart with Barron, and he's at his golf course down the street at Trump National, where Jupiter Joe Thomas' daughter was just married a couple weeks ago. And some guys on the golf course go up to him and start talking to him. And Trump tells us all kinds of stuff. Listen.
How did I do with the debate the other night? Amazing. That old broken down pile of crap. Yeah. It's a bad guy. He just quit, you know. He's quit anyways.
Is that right?
Yep, I got him out of the race. And that means we have Kamala. I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic.
It's so amazing.
She's just so bad. So
I just can't imagine.
But can you imagine that guy dealing with Putin and the president of China, who's a fierce person? He's a fierce man. A very tough guy, and they probably he can't. But they just announced he's probably quitting.
Okay, so Trump says he's quitting. Then he says he's probably quitting, and then last night, Tom Finton, who heads up Judicial Watch, came out with this announcement from his kitchen.
Everyone, I got some news on Joe Biden. I've been hearing that he's going to resign on Monday. The information I have is pretty reliable. Sure enough, the Biden people are putting out there and leaking that he's considering not running for president, stepping aside from the campaign. But given the reasons for him having to do that, his cognitive fitness, it stands to reason he's going to have to leave the presidency as well. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, we should be asking tough questions of Vice President Harris and his cabinet about what they knew and when, about what everyone now knows is his remarkable cognitive challenges that it looks like to many Americans make him unfit to be president of the United States.
Okay, so Trump says, word is he's out. Tom Finton says his sources are telling him Biden is going to resign on Monday. All right, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, my question is this: when Karen Jean-Pierre first took over for Jen Psaki a couple years back, right? You know, did she think that she would be in this position to basically be stabbing her boss in the back? Yeah, probably not. But because she was probably looking at, okay, I'm getting up a promotion. It's a tough job, but it's a challenging job.
So you think she's had this prolonged press conference yesterday to try to push Biden out?
Yes, I do. I think so too. And that's the thing. These press secretaries usually don't last that long in their job.
Mm-mm.
A year, maybe two if you're pushing it, right? So you know, you look at, she's almost been there 2 years. You know?
Mm-hmm. Long time.
They
tried to get rid of her recently, and they offered her a job to head up an abortion organization, Emily's List, and she turned it down, and she played the race and gay card and kept her job. And the one that was after her was, oh shoot, I forgot her name. I mentioned her yesterday on the air. She's the one that has the problem with her tongue. She sticks her tongue out constantly like a lizard. And she was the one, she's an Obama person. She's the Maoist from the Obama, I can't remember, I'll think of her name in a minute. But yeah. Well, she doesn't have a lot of friends, but maybe she's made a deal that if she keeps this press conference going on every day of questioning Biden's mental state, they'll give her a job.
Right, and like you said, she doesn't have to have long press conferences. She can just say, here's the statement, boom, 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 and we're done.
Exactly. All right, Mike, take care. Good points. I will agree with you on all of that since he was agreeing with me. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Happy happy 4th of July. And
Oh, yes.
being on the air.
By the way, Anita Dunn is the one that tried to get rid of Jean-Pierre at the White House. Anita Dunn.
Well, if President Trump says it and Tom Finton says it, they know a lot better than I do. But President Biden is forever been a miserable, self-centered guy, and he thinks his government is his government because he's been in there so long. So I'd be very surprised if he steps down.
No, things are. This is the thing, Doug. I said this before. There's no way to make I have no problem making predictions and being wrong about things based on information. I do that all the time, and if I'm wrong in the end, I don't care. Things are in flux, things change, and things are evolving every 5 minutes with this situation with Biden. So I think it's impossible for anybody like me to make a prediction on what's going to go down. But Trump and Tom Finton have credible sources. Biden was pretty firm yesterday. I'm the nominee. I am running. I am not stepping down. That could be a negotiation tactic for that golden parachute that they want.
I think if anything, he might just say, "I'm not going to run." He's not going to step down, though. He will say, "I'm not going to run next time because of the polls are showing, and I want to make sure we win."
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what he'll do, in my opinion. But I would think that President Trump and Finton know a lot better than I do. But we'll soon see, man. This guy,
that's for sure,
should be going. And there's my favorite word. You should, but I doubt it, man.
Do you do anything special on the 4th of July? Do you go to the fireworks?
I haven't gone to the fireworks yet, but we're thinking about going this year.
Oh, really?
We haven't gone because we're always worried that there's going to be some kind of trouble. But
I'm not really into pyrotechnics. I once went when I was a kid. I went to the 4th of July at C.B. Smith Park. When C.B. Smith Park was new, this was like the first year or two of C.B. Smith Park. That's how long ago it was. And their fireworks started going off on the ground, and the guy we thought it was part of the display. Everyone was going, the guy lighting off the fireworks, I don't even know if he survived. He got burned pretty bad. It was pretty, fireworks. The 4th of July, I love the 4th of July, but when my neighbors and my whole neighborhood, they go up to that south of the border place, up, off of I-95, where you can buy all the fireworks that are illegal in Florida, and I'm sure this is true in a lot of your developments. My whole development, it's like a war zone with all the banging and popping all night. I hate it.
Especially you have to go to bed early, but
yeah,
it's annoying. It's annoying, but this is one day.
And I don't like going to the fireworks down at the beach because they put the drawbridges up and you get stuck. It's a mess, and all the drunks on the road.
And I tell you, after seeing the fireworks in New York, you come down here and you see they're good, but they're nothing like New York.
This one, a few years back, this one idiot in my neighborhood, he had a flare gun and was shooting off flares. And one of them went into one of the trees in my backyard. And he came running to the house. He thought he'd set my house on fire. And I said, "What are you doing with the flare gun?" He had the flare gun in his hand. I was like, "That's like out in the ocean. You shoot that, not in the neighborhood." Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the people go nuts. They're drinking, they go nuts.
Many years ago, Steve had a 4th of July party, and there were a bunch of very well-known radio personalities from various radio stations, and we were lighting fireworks in the backyard, and one of them didn't go up. It went straight across the lake, landed in someone's backyard where they were having a 4th of July barbecue, and went, just exploded in the backyard. And of course, we all ran inside Steve's house and hid, until 4th of July is very dangerous. You know what I like to do? I actually watch the 4th of July celebrations on television. And the one that they do on PBS is usually pretty good because they have good singers like Huey Lewis can't sing anymore, but they used to have him there every year, people I like that sing, and it's at the National Mall in D.C. It's pretty cool on PBS. I don't know who they're going to have this year, but that's why I usually don't leave the house on 4th of July. Very rarely.
I was always worried that there's some terrorist might show up. So
When does that happen? They do things on days that are significant to them, not us. They don't even know what 4th of July is. All right, Doug, take care. Let's see here. Let's take another call before we break. What the heck? It's a holiday. We shouldn't even be here today. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Rod from Coconut Creek.
Hey, Coconut Creek.
Listen, this interview tomorrow is going to be choreographed, scripted, rehearsed, heavily edited, and we all know who George Stephanopoulos is. Everybody in your listening audience knows about this. And I don't know, there has to be, the press has known Biden's condition for decades. This guy has been a wacko for as long.
Well, you know, it's an interest. Okay, you're talking about the George Stephanopoulos interview with Biden, which is pre-recorded. And in the press conference yesterday with Jean-Pierre, multiple members of the press asked Jean-Pierre, will the president come in here and do a non-scripted interview? I've never heard the press, and then Jean-Pierre says he's done a lot of non-scripted interviews. So this was bizarre. This was the first time I heard the media and the White House say that these interviews that they do oftentimes are scripted plays. And George Stephanopoulos, of course, works for the Clintons. And the Clintons don't like the Obamas because Obama took her first chance away at being president. So he took the nomination from her. So George Stephanopoulos will be against Obama and on Biden's side, would be my guess, yeah.
Again, I don't think so, because ABC has been choreographing the events at the White House.
Yes.
Out in the news a couple, 2 or 3 years ago. You know, there's so much going on, Brian, with the news media. It makes me sick.
Yeah, it does.
They're putting this entire country at risk.
We're at risk, yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. There's no one running the country. We do not have a functioning government in the United States. And how long has it been that way? I don't want to know. But there's not a functioning government.
Well, the media's been fully exposed by that interview. Everybody saw that. And we know that Biden has been this way for many years. And he's just, I mean, the guy's been making up weird stories like cannibals ate his uncle, and it's just not right in the head, you know?
That's for sure.
What to say anymore, Brian?
Yeah, all right. We certainly are. All right, take care from Coconut Creek. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
Friendly home security system that also offers home automation features? Well, look no further than Sloman Shield. This comprehensive system integrates home security and automation, giving you control over your home at your fingertips. With Sloman's, you'll enjoy peace of mind that comes with knowing your home is protected and monitored 24/7. And as a special offer, Sloman's is now providing a free system and installation when you sign up for their affordable central station monitoring. This incredible package includes a color LED touchscreen keypad, 10 contacts, motion detector, cellular communication with backup battery, and of course, professional installation. And for a limited time, Sloman's will also throw in video surveillance capabilities, including the choice of an outdoor or indoor video camera. From your smartphone or tablet, receive notifications when someone enters or leaves your home, and you can review any unusual activity. Do not miss out on this incredible offer. Call 833-283-5050 to learn more and schedule your installation. Sloman's, a trusted provider of home security solutions for over 100 years.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call,
My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
To all these listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. When you're looking for a retirement advisor, you don't trust and experience are two big qualities to look for. And as it turns out, my friend Jupiter Joe Thomas possesses both of these. Whether you're in retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or, even simpler, you can go to JupiterJoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or remember, go to JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com.
Brian Craig here. Our 6th annual cruise is coming up, and you're all invited. This time, we're sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the Ascent, to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. We set sail March 30th. We have private shore excursions, private cocktail parties, group activities. We're going to go to the shows together, and much, much more. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot right now. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. And online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, we are back. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. It is also Independence Day, July 4th, and of course, Steve will be joining us later in the show. We are here live on the 4th of July, sponsored today by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. So go to MyPillow.com and load up using our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, 80% on some of the most popular MyPillow products. The MyPillow 2.0 that I sleep on every night, buy one, get one free with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. It has the same patented fill as the pillow that started it all, but the material that it's made out of keeps your head and neck cool all night long. You will never flip the pillow over looking for the cool side again. It's buy one, get one free with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. All right, so if you're just tuning in, Tom Finton from Judicial Watch reported last night that his sources are telling him that Joe Biden will resign on Monday. Resign the presidency. That's what Tom Finton says. Not me, Tom Finton. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
George, Florida.
Hey, George. Oh, yeah, this is our best caller, right?
I think so.
Yeah, the self-proclaimed best caller of the program.
But you, apparently the person you think it could be, you have a hate and disdain for. Doesn't matter what their calls are about.
Yeah, somebody left me a message that I was disrespectful to you and that I should answer your questions and not ridicule you. Did you leave me that message, or was that someone else?
That might have been
you. Oh, it might have been you. It sounds like it might have been you. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Well, no, Steve whispers in your ear.
Steve Kane? Steve doesn't even know who you are.
You take Renee. Renee or what's the other? Jay in Jersey.
Yes.
And then, the thing is, I'm going to say, and you say, oh, they're one of the best calls, they're best calls, but you don't like them. I don't agree with anything. I'm a Trump supporter. But the thing is, they're black. If they were white, you'd probably get rid of them, although you have some exceptions to call at the end of the show, I guess. Richie, you have the same, there's 5 callers, the same 5 callers call every day, and I know they're very exciting and interesting callers, but Richie is very good, though. I won't have nothing. You could talk to Richie, the bus driver, and ask him about my calls. I know your show's not about that.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure you would love that if the whole show just revolved around you. Well, dazzle the audience. I'll not do the ridicule. What do you have to contribute today? It's not open phones. That's tomorrow.
By the way, as far as
oh my goodness.
person. I don't yell. I'm not yelling. I think I might have heard the call. Yell. I don't. You've never heard me yell or scream.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm just. But the question is.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's all about you, George.
Do you want? No. It's a question about the president. Do you want Biden to stay in, or you think he needs to get out of there like last week? And you want the camel, that's what, to take his place.
Kamala? I know. Yeah, I know. I heard it the first couple times you said it. I think I would like Biden to resign the presidency. I think it's dangerous to have somebody who's checked out as president. What if we were attacked? What if there was a crisis? It's hurricane season. What if there's a devastating storm, that hits part of the... How could he respond? He's out of it.
Do you think they're going to let him do what he wants? Doesn't he have to... do you think Michelle has something to say about it?
Oh, my goodness. Oh. That whoever that was, you or someone else, you really think I should be answering this guy's questions? All right, George, thanks for the call. All right, take care. See how he's trying to prolong the call? See that? Even as I was hanging up, he had one more thing. Oh, my goodness. I think George left the comment. I think it was George. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, good morning, Brian. Happy 4th to you.
Thank you. Same to you.
Ronnie Dick at West Palm Beach. The caller that just got off, I really would hate to say what he really is, but...
Terminally boring.
Yeah, right. I'm into intelligence. If you have nothing to offer for is learning and experiencing it, then you're no good to me. But on the other hand, getting back to what you were talking about this morning with Jean-Pierre and the rest of them, like I said from the very beginning, they are going to feed off of each other and destroy each other.
Mm-hmm.
All you just got to do is sit back and watch the show. And I am praying and hoping that when Trump gets in office, just like you said, there is a large investigation of who's been running this country and has put us in all this mess.
And maybe even, and you know what? Maybe even killed people through military action and such, which means they've,
without a shadow of a doubt. What about the people that was left in Afghanistan?
Yeah, who gave that order?
The Americans, that we don't even know what happened to those people. Children, women, this is crazy. It's ludicrous for them to even think that they have been doing a great job all these years and lying to their constituents.
Correct. Yeah. No, you're right.
And people need to wake up and find out that the Democrat Party that is in place now is not the Democrat Party when my grandmother and my mother were voting, when Kennedy them were around. No, you have a bunch of Marxist, communist people in there. And they don't care about Americans. They don't care about us. They're gloating over themselves. And I can't wait till the day that Americans can gloat over themselves about them getting punished for the things they have done.
No, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I appreciate the call from Palm Beach. Take care. Yes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen.
Well, I'm not a big fan of 4th of July. It's the biggest contributor to lost dogs and cats. I have a neighbor down the street that blows off those fireworks. You can feel those earth shake.
I hate it, yeah.
House is down.
That's awful.
I always said I'm going to petition against them doing like in neighborhoods, except for, small ones. But anyways, one, I don't feel sorry for Biden at all. And the last thing I heard was that he was going to stay in. They said some of those people that met with him said, he's had our back, we're going to have his back. So that was like last night, probably around 11 o'clock or so. But anyways.
Well, I'll tell you, just on the 4th of July, the 4th of July is an awesome holiday, but the problem is we have a bunch of arsonists that like to go out with fireworks. Many of them are illegal and do all kinds of dangerous things. I mean, that's just the way it is, and it's endless. And it'll be for like a week. They'll have fireworks left over going off throughout the week. I don't like the neighborhood fireworks at all. At all.
either.
Why do you say animals? What happens to animals? People take them or they run away?
A lot of cats and dogs. Dogs always freak out, and and they run off and they get lost.
Oh.
But
I didn't know that. That one of the biggest days of lost pets. Yeah, I know.
so I was listening to, unfortunately, Brian Kilmeade. He was talking to Rich Lauer yesterday, and they were talking about Clyburn, how he is, like a guy that's on the up and up, and he says exactly what's going on. Well, Clyburn has been the biggest contributor, to Biden.
Well, Clyburn, they've been making a big deal about Clyburn, but Biden screwed Clyburn over recently, okay? The Democrat South Carolina primary is supposed to be a big deal, and they basically they didn't have primaries in the Democrat Party, and Clyburn during the primaries likes to come out and have everybody kiss his butt. They probably pass the hat around too, and he gets to be king of the world for a week or two, and he didn't get that. And he was pissed off about it. He was very slighted by Biden during the primary because they basically had no primaries. So he hates Biden over that. That's probably big, that's a big ego and probably money-making thing for Clyde. These guys, it's all about ego and money.
Yeah. I just heard Clyburn, though, backing Biden. It wasn't that long ago. But
not now. Now he wants to have a primary. He wants to have a limited primary. He said we should have 4 or 5 Democrats, and they could have a mini primary before the convention. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. No, he's not on Biden. He's undermining. He may be talking out of both sides of his mouth, but he's, he might be saying good things, but he's also undermining him. All right, Joellen. Take care. Appreciate for the heads up. Keep your dogs and cats inside during 4th of July. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers. That's traffic. I'm Zach.
So gentleman's not here today, right?
No.
So you want me to play his repeat one?
Yeah. Guys, make sure you like the video. If you guys liking the video helps a lot. It really does. Liking the video helps get the video recommended to people that have not found the channel yet. So if you could please like the video, I would appreciate it.
and making sure you're ready is key if you need to evacuate. Evacuations typically don't have to be hundreds of miles. Having at least half a tank of gas ensures you can evacuate the necessary tens of miles to a safe, sheltering location when a storm threatens your community. Check with nearby friends and family now and have a plan in place for what to do if you are ordered to evacuate. Visit halfwayfull.halfwaythere.com to learn about more ways to be prepared. This message is sponsored by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit, and HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1988, and his services cover the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too, residential roofing and repair.
Hey guys, there's over 1,000 of you, which is amazing on a holiday, in the live stream right now. So thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. You know, when you do a show on a holiday, you never know if anyone's going to be listening. All righty, callers on hold, stand by. Our number 1-888-465-2631. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We are here live on the 4th of July, sponsored by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. With our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, save as much as 80% off of top MyPillow products at MyPillow.com. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
North Carolina.
Hey, North Carolina, what's up?
Hey, I just want to say I was thinking about Kamala Harris being the president, and I wouldn't be surprised if they cut a deal with Biden that if you step down, also Kamala Harris will pardon your son. I wouldn't be surprised if she pardoned him. That way, he doesn't look bad. Like, oh yeah, he pardoned his son, but he can say, oh, I didn't pardon.
I wouldn't take the risk because once she takes the oath, she doesn't have to do that. I would sign the pardon before. I would not take the chance.
Well, I was thinking about the other president. Remember, he got pardoned by President Ford?
Nixon.
And President Nixon, yeah, I wouldn't blame you. I'm sorry. President Nixon got pardoned by President Ford. So I was kind of thinking about that.
Yeah.
Brian, thank you.
All right, I appreciate the call. You know, that pardon of Nixon was done. Ford was a plant. He was a deep state plant, and he pardoned Nixon just so that Nixon would forever be staying that he had done some crimes. He had immunity too, just like all the other presidents, Nixon. He didn't need that pardon. That was the establishment undermining Nixon. You know, the thing about the fireworks, because most of the fireworks, you can get some type of things they call fireworks in Florida, but individual pretty legal. But when I was a kid, the stuff that was legal in Florida was insane. How many of you used to be able to go, do any of you remember this? you could go to 7-Eleven. Anytime you went to a 7-Eleven, they used to sell bottle rockets right there at the checkout. Right next to the cash register, and they didn't care how old you were. I'm talking about like real bottle rockets that like go up in the air and explode. And no matter how old you were, you could buy them at every convenience store in Florida. There were other things you could buy too. I remember there was one year, and they're very dangerous. You know, the thing with the bottle rockets, and I can remember you could buy them. They were like 10 cents each. And my friends and I would, we used to, this is how long ago it was, we would keep the soda bottle. Remember you could take the soda bottles to the store and get money back, right? Can't do that anymore. Mike doesn't even know what I'm talking about. But you could take like, you know, this is when Coke and Pepsi came in glass bottles. You bought it at the grocery store in glass bottles, and you could take it back to any grocery store or convenience store, and they'd give you 10 cents a bottle. So my friends and I, we'd go to 7-Eleven with as many empty soda bottles as we could. They gave us 10 cents a bottle, and the bottle rockets were 10 cents each. It was like an even exchange. So whoever had the most soda bottles got the most bottle rockets. And I can remember those things. Sometimes you would light it, it would instantly explode right there. You know, I remember I was lighting one many times, and they would blow up right there as I was lighting up. It's amazing the things you used to be able to do that you can't do anymore. But I remember this was many years ago. This was like 20-some. This was more than 20 years ago. This was in the 90s. We had a big drought here in Florida around this time of year for 4th of July. And who was the governor? I think it was Lawton Chiles was the governor. Who's dead now. He died on the treadmill at the governor's mansion, Governor Chiles. And he had banned firework displays for this. He was a Democrat. He banned fireworks because we had a drought. And the leader of the Florida Democrat Party went to him to try to burn down the whole state and get him to lift the order on the firework ban during the drought over the 4th of July that year. It had to be like 97 or 98. That's how far back that goes. But I'm just never been into fireworks. Never liked fire. I did like the bottle rockets when I could have pyrotechnics on my own. But I have no interest in watching fireworks tonight. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Happy 4th of July to every single American out there. Yeah, I mean, everybody, that's all you do is talk about Biden's age. I mean, you know what? He's an old man. I mean, you can, honestly, you look at interviews from like a couple years ago, and the guy was solid. Being president ran this guy to the ground, man. He's old, he's getting done. I'll tell you. I mean, and every Republican, MAGA, you guys don't even, you forget. Nancy Reagan, she ran the country for God knows how.
No, she didn't. No, she did not. No, she did not. No, she did not.
Reagan at the end.
Not.
Bad.
No, he wasn't. No, he was not. No, that's a lie. No, he was fine. Where can I? Yes, in fact, if you go online, President Reagan, his last 6. Hold on. Well, before you discredit it, maybe you should know what it is before you discredit it, right? But his last 6 months, including his last week in the White House, he did endless interviews with anybody who called and asked for one. You go back and watch those interviews, he's as sharp as Trump. No, it's a liberal urban legend that he was in mental decline in his last year. Nancy Reagan was running the country. None of that was true. He was perfectly fine. Nope, all lies. He did have, when he left, yes, when he left, now years after he was president, he had Alzheimer's, but no, he was perfectly mentally fit when he was president, Ronald Reagan, liberal. Now, do you have an example of him like Biden being checked out?
No, there's video of directions and stuff like that. I mean, of course.
No, there's not. There is no such video. There's no such video.
All right. So no such video whatsoever. So
no, you just made that up.
So you're saying, okay, I make it all up. I'm starting to learn from you. It's rubbing off. And Richie, the bus driver, okay, and that Barbara, that's a dude. Whoever calls in every day, that's a guy. All right, and I don't know whatever these two guys are talking about, though, Brian. I'm just letting you know, it's 4th of July. Everybody needs to stop putting labels on everybody, bro. You need to.
Wait, hold on, Tom. Okay, this is interesting. You said for the 4th of July, people should stop putting labels on people, but then you say Barbara from Baltimore is a man. Why did you label her a man if you want people to stop? But you want to stop labeling people. No. You say, why are you labeling people on the day that you say we need to stop labeling people?
Well, people call out and they're like, oh, that other caller. So, I decided just to say, hey, that's a dude. Richie's a bus driver.
Listen. You obviously have an attraction. You obviously have an attraction to Barbara, and if you tell yourself she's a man, maybe it makes your attraction feel legit, since that's how you roll.
And also, too, Brian, let me just ask you something. I want everybody out there to know that there is a HBO documentary called, it's all about Cohen and Trump's first attorney, okay? How George Steinbrenner and how Trump used to idolize, and it's like these billionaire.
What's wrong with Steinbrenner? What's wrong with Steinbrenner now?
Just letting you know that that's basically, you're fired, all this stuff. I'm saying,
So what? What's wrong with Steinbrenner? What's wrong with liking Steinbrenner? Jerry Steinfeld had a whole seasons about Steinbrenner.
I'm putting personality to the person, Brian. That's all I'm doing.
So what are you doing? What are you doing for the 4th of July?
Right now, I just left my mom at the hospital, and
Look here, the sympathy. What's your mom in? Why's your mom in the hospital? He's trying to get sympathy. Why's your mom in the hospital?
Well, she's sick.
With what?
Honestly, Brian, I don't feel comfortable talking about that.
You can't even think of a condition to make up this pathetic.
What do you want me to do? Give you a diagnosis? Like I got,
So your mom's in the hospital. You have no idea why. You just made that whole thing up.
Oh my God, Brian! You have no idea, Brian. I really wish that you would be a human being sometimes, brother, because all you do is throw stuff and hopefully it sticks. And sometimes you could be...
Like my father-in-law was in the hospital the other day. He had chest pains. They brought him in to do scans to make sure he didn't have a heart attack. He didn't, by the way. He's home now. But the fact that you don't even know why your mom's in the hospital makes me suspect.
Share it with you, Schmohawk.
Why? Nobody knows who you or she is. What is she in the hospital for?
Sold for you on the radio.
Let me tell you something. You see, he hung up. Now, how many of you believe Tom that his mom's in the hospital? First, he says he doesn't know what she's in the hospital for. Now he doesn't want to share it like it's some private thing. Nobody knows who you are. No one knows who she is. It's all completely anonymous. Did Tom make that up, or is his mommy in the hospital? All right, we'll take our last break of the hour and be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel with the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today, Brian?
I'm doing great. What do you have for us this morning?
Well, not all estate plans are the same. Not all estate plans work the same. Just like anything else, when you go to a hotel, not every hotel is the Ritz-Carlton or the Four Seasons. They're not all the same. So it can be different with an estate plan done in one way or another, where some are done online, some through software, some through law firms that do a little bit of everything and don't have any special knowledge in a particular area. So what is different about estate plans done, for instance, at the Siegel Law Group? Well, number one,
What do you guys in the chat think? Yes or no? Did Tom make that up about his mom being in the hospital?
you leave behind the people you love are protected, so make sure they'll stay in the bloodline. If that person should get the
I think he made it up.
deceased, their spouse gets sued, have creditors, it's protected.
Yeah,
So,
he made it up. Nobody believes him.
if your assets,
Not one person believes him.
if you or your spouse become ill and need to
Oh, two people say he did make it up. Yeah, he was trying to get sympathy.
Most estate plans don't cover that to make sure that you can qualify for government benefits and not spend down your assets.
She's probably a nurse, yeah.
At the end of your life, if you run out of money, then really what good is that great estate plan? And of course, you want to make sure that you have guidance to make sure that your assets are funded in the trust so they will avoid probate. So for all of those reasons and many more, you want to make sure that you have an estate plan that's going to work, that is going to be better than the ones that you get online or through.
That's right.
Attorneys.
That's right, and it's always a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group. If you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, Barry has offices from Dade County all the way up through the Palm Beaches, but no matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help. You can find them online at SiegelLawGroup.com or give them a call toll-free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, have a great day. We'll talk next time.
All right, thank you, Bob.
All right, back.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now
I got to say, we've had very good calls for a holiday. You know, a holiday, you never know. You never know. And we've had some very good calls. I did a little poll during the break. No one believes Tom with that story. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We are here today live on the 4th of July, sponsored by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. So show Mike Lindell your support by going to MyPillow.com. Use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and load up. There's so many specials going on right now. I was talking earlier about the MyPillow pet beds. These are wonderful, $25. I have them. They're unlike any pet bed you've ever had. First off, they're the most comfortable bed your pets have ever had because they have that patented fill from the MyPillow inside. But they're completely machine washable and dryable. I have two of them. I've had them for years, and they look like the day I got them. You put them in the wash, you put them in the dryer, it washes them inside and out. It's amazing. And like everything Mike Lindell makes, they're very high quality. They come in 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large. I have the large ones, and they come in many different colors as well. Just $25 with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. But you, as I say, you can use our promo code Kane for all the specials at MyPillow.com, not just the ones I'm sharing with you, okay? So that's great. And thanks for Mike Lindell for bringing us in here on the holiday with you guys with all these great calls. All right, now, just to catch everybody up, there's some major breaking news that came out last night. We've got 2 things here. I'm going to play them for you back to back. The first one is the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. He was at his golf course, and he's in the golf cart with Barron, and 2 guys come up to him and start talking. And Trump says this.
Gave me so much. I was do with the debate the other night. Amazing. That old broken down pile of crap. Yeah. It's a bad guy. He just quit, you know. He's quitting the rest. Is that right? Yep. I got him out of the way. And that means we have Kamala. I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic. It's so amazing. She's so bad. So I just can't imagine. But can you imagine that guy?
I had to bleep the president. He said she's so effing bad.
Dealing with Putin and the president of China, who's a fierce person. He's a fierce man, a very tough guy. And they probably, he can't, but they just announced he's probably quitting. Okay? Yeah. Just keep knocking him out.
Okay, so that's clip 1. President Trump says Biden's out. And then this, if you're on hold, stand by. Go back to the phones in a minute. And then yesterday, Tom Finton, who heads up Judicial Watch, dropped a major, very specific breaking news bombshell. This is Tom Finton last night from his kitchen, breaking some news and posting it to Twitter.
Hey everyone, I got some news on Joe Biden. I've been hearing that he's going to resign on Monday. The information I have is pretty reliable. Sure enough, the Biden people are putting out there and leaking that he's considering not running for president, stepping aside from the campaign. But given the reasons for him having to do that, his cognitive fitness, it stands to reason he's going to have to lead the presidency as well. So we'll see what happens, but in the meantime, we should be asking tough questions of Vice President Harris and his cabinet about what they do and when, about what everyone now knows is his remarkable cognitive challenges that it looks like to many Americans make him unfit to be president of the United States.
Okay, so Tom Finton says his sources, which are inside Washington, D.C. sources, say that Biden is going to resign from the presidency on Monday. It's a pretty bold prediction Tom Finton made, but millions of people have seen that. It has gone viral online. Viral. Many millions have seen that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Nick Leonard.
Hey, Nick, what's up?
Listen, everybody, happy 4th, and I'm going to just say one thing, and the fact is that, I was around during the Watergate thing, and this is bigger than Watergate. And this is the Democrats' Watergate, basically. I mean, the old saying, what goes around comes around. 50 years ago, they did this to Nixon. They screwed Nixon over, pardon my language. But it's come around to bite the Democrats.
Yeah, no, I mean this is pretty big, and it's almost 100% agreement among the Democrats that he's got to go. Almost 100%. Open agreement.
Isn't it interesting, though, you haven't heard anything about that governor's meeting last night?
I do have an article on that I'm going to get into with some insider info in the next hour. I was waiting for Steve to join us.
That's why this is breaking news. This show is breaking news because everybody's in rerun mode and you're live. Right?
Yeah, I know.
Tomorrow.
Of course, yeah, we'll be here tomorrow. Absolutely. All right, I appreciate the call. Nick from Baltimore. Really great calls today. I must tell you, great calls today. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I left out one thing.
Wait a minute. You. It's one call per day. The first one was torturous enough. Oh my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey Brian, it's Patty from New Jersey.
Hey Patty, what's up?
Hey, happy 4th of July. The one thing I wanted to say is the Democrats, yesterday Jean-Pierre came out and adamantly said that the president is not resigning, yada, yada, yada. And now you hear all these other reports coming out.
In fact, yeah, there's not only Tom Finton, the Daily Mail and the New York Times even, liberal paper of record, is reporting that he's considering stepping down.
But it just goes to show you that these Democrats cannot tell the truth no matter what. That woman stood up there on the podium for a longer time than normal and adamantly said the president is sharp, he's going to hunker down, he's going to stay in office, he had jet lag. I mean, and I mean, you know what, give me a break. He was away, a 4 or 5 hour time difference. He comes back to the United States and then was tucked away in the woods for 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of jet lag lasting more than 10 days.
And plus, they give all the presidents, they have beds on Air Force One, They never, and they give them amphetamines too, all the presidents, so they don't have jet lag. Never heard of an instance of jet lag with a president, ever.
Yeah, it's just, they just lie after lie after lie. And I just hope that people, I still see on YouTube a lot of interviews where people are saying, I'm going to vote for Trump. Anybody, or not Trump, Biden. Anybody who can justify voting for that man at this point, do us all a favor. Just don't vote.
Mm-hmm.
Vote.
You don't feel confident that he brings a crack addict Hunter Biden into all the meetings to advise him? That doesn't give you some sense of confidence that the country is being led by credible people?
Well, yes, and after our conversation the other day, I was so mixed up with. I was so shocked that was even happening.
Crazy.
Or you straightened me out about that the other day about Joe giving him clearance and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Jill and Hunter are in that White House helping him make decisions is frightening. They were not elected. He was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, if we can...
Yeah. Yeah.
It's scary, and people really need to think about, you know, who you're voting for.
That's correct. Well, listen, we're at time for the hour, but great call. Appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. Steve will be joining us in the next hour, and I do have the real story of what happened in that meeting with Biden and the governors that the media are covering up. We'll get into that and a whole bunch more. And also your calls. Remember, we're here live on this 4th of July, brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Make sure to use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and load up on MyPillow products today to let Mike Lindell know we did a good thing bringing us in here on a holiday. Back after this.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and Hurricane 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Well, happy 4th of July from the True Oldies Weather Center. I'm Mike Balsamo. All in all, it looks like plenty of sun for this 4th of July. However, with plenty of sun comes plenty of heat. We, of course, will be up around that 100-degree feels-like temperature once again. Not great chances of rain. May see a passing shower or two. All in all, a very bright and beautiful day here for the 4th of July.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Good afternoon. A new accident reported at US 1 and 18th Avenue South and an earlier crash on northbound 95 at PGA Boulevard. This report sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you love with flexibility, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers. That's traffic. I'm Zach.
BBKC is your entertainment destination with poker, casino table games, off-track betting, planet dining, and exciting events. Come out to the newly renovated poker room at BBKC, open daily for cash games, high-hand giveaways, mega battery jackpots, and big money tournaments. You can also play your favorite table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum. For more information, go to bbkennelclub.com.
Are you looking for a reliable and user-friendly home security system that also offers home automation features? Look no further than Slow and Shield. This comprehensive system integrates home security and automation, giving you control over your home at your fingertips. With Sloman's, you'll enjoy the peace of mind that comes with knowing your home is protected and monitored 24/7. As a special offer, Sloman's is providing a free system and installation when you sign up for their affordable Central Station library. The package includes a color LED touchscreen keypad, 10 contacts, motion detector, cellular communication with backup battery, and professional installation. For a limited time, Sloman's will also throw in video surveillance capabilities, including the choice of an outdoor or indoor video camera. With this feature, you can view your home from your smartphone or tablet, receive notifications when someone enters or exits your home, and review any unusual activity. Don't miss out on this incredible offer. Call 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050 to learn more and schedule your installation with Sloman's, a trusted provider of home security solutions for over 100 years.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to ask you a question. How important is a good night's sleep, and when was the last time you got one? I get one each and every night with the MyPillow mattress topper. They're 50% off now with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. Pair it with new pillows and those fabulous Giza Dream sheets. There's huge discounts on those too. Free shipping on all orders over $75 with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. You'll thank me in the morning.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza. It's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard, on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any lab test now at Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Bramblewood by the Coral Square Mall.
There we go.
561-237-5009. Any lab test now at Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
On the air since 1977. It's this Brian Craig.
All right. We are back. I'm Brian. Steve joining us. Hey, Steve.
Good morning.
I'm doing very well. Call us on hold, stand by. We're here live on the 4th of July, by the way. Brought to you by MyPillow. Promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Make sure you go to MyPillow.com, load up, and let Mike Lindell know that he made the right choice by sponsoring us to come in on this very special holiday. Well, lots has been happening. Do you want to go to the phones? What do you want to do?
Let's just go anywhere.
Okay, well, I'll give you just a quick update before I get into the new stuff. There's been a lot of major news since yesterday. For people that are just tuning in, let me play the clip of Tom Fenton. Tom Finton from Judicial Watch is a Washington insider. He's the head of Judicial Watch, and he made this video that I'm going to share with you now that has been viewed millions of times. It has gone viral online. All right, this is Tom Finton. You know Tom Finton, Steve, from Judicial Watch. Yeah, okay. Okay, let me pull him up here. Hold on.
News on Joe Biden. I've been hearing that he's going to resign on Monday. The information I have is pretty reliable. Sure enough, the Biden people are putting out there and leaking that he's considering not running for president, stepping aside from the campaign. But given the reasons for him having to do that, his cognitive fitness, it stands to reason he's going to have to lead the presidency as well.
Okay, so Tom Finton says that his sources are saying that Biden will resign on Monday. Today's Thursday, by the way, the 4th of July. So he's an insider. So that's some real. I think they're setting him up a little bit, Steve. If they can get him to drop out of the race, they're going to say if you're not fit enough to run, you're not fit enough to hold the office. So they're setting him up to get him out of the White House before his term's even up. And Tom Finton's pretty credible.
I think your evaluation is correct.
All right, well, let's go back to the phones. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Maddie.
Yes.
Hey, what's up?
Steve, I want to tell you something. You remember Rita Hayworth? No, seriously. She got on a plane. She was okay. She got on a plane. When she got off the plane, she had full-blown Alzheimer's. You can read about it. Flying makes dementia or Alzheimer's much, much worse faster. Did you ever hear of that?
No.
No, I'll look that up. That's interesting.
Read about it. As a matter of fact, people really didn't know about Alzheimer's till she got it. Her daughter today is the head of an Alzheimer's foundation to her mother. So look it up. It is true. People that fly, it's either the air pressure, it's something. So
I'll look that up. That's interesting. By the way, I thought it was Rita Hayworth, but I guess I was wrong. What was the name of the actress that was married to Clark Gable that flew into the mountain and died?
Carol Lombard.
Oh, that was Carol Lombard. Okay, there you go. Okay, I thought it was Rita Hayworth. Yeah. I thought for some reason I thought that was Rita Hayworth. Oh.
You'll see.
I'll look it up. But you're saying that flying made her Alzheimer's worse.
Absolutely, much, much worse and much faster.
Well, I can see that. I mean, there's something logical about that because everything you're talking about revolves around the inner ear and your balance and all those things that are affected when you fly. So I can see where it could aggravate any condition you might have.
In fact, okay, now I'm looking at this. It's hard to find specifics so quickly about what you're talking about, but it was a TWA flight, and that's how far back it goes, right? Trans World Airlines. She got off a flight, and the people saw her, and there was a photograph, and they just thought she was an alcoholic. But her Alzheimer's was definitely, she had it before, but she became much more symptomatic after the flight.
So Biden was flying around. I mean, he was bad to begin with. And the flying, I think, made it much worse. It came out much more. That's what I think.
Yeah, it does. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call, Maddie. Oh, that's interesting. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes.
Oh, hey, it's Joan from Tampa Bay.
Hey, Joan.
Okay, I've flown internationally, okay? I went to Scotland. I flew early in the morning from Tampa Bay to New York to Newark, to grab the flight overseas. I had 2.5 hours stop in Newark. Then I went from Newark to Scotland. I mean, the flight was wonderful. Of course, I flew economy. But they were very good. They give you drinks first. And I said, I just want water, so I keep hydrated. Then they gave you a meal. Then they gave you pillows and blankets. And they put on a little movie, not very loud. And they dim the lights. Everybody goes to sleep. Then they bring up the lights. You get breakfast. You land in Scotland. I was fine. The only thing I wanted was a shower for the next day.
Well, you don't have Alzheimer's.
Well, I guess not. No, but I was in my 60s.
Yeah.
I was no young spring chicken.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Yeah. Okay, now, I was saving this for this hour. So Biden had this meeting with the governors yesterday, and then Governor Hochul came out. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We strongly support Biden, Hochul said. Well, that's not the case. Listen to this. Biden's emergency meeting to shore up Dem support from the governors implodes as other governors and lawmakers accuse Hochul of telling a huge lie. So Hochul's trying to carry the water there for Biden. She got busted. Joe Biden's emergency meeting with Democrat governors to shore up support has hit a huge obstacle after one leading lawmaker was accused of lying. New York's Democrat governor, Kathy Hochul, offered unanimous support for the ailing president after the meeting. But other politicians in attendance say she had no right to do that. A female Democrat governor, Janet Mills of Maine, pulled no punches in blasting Biden, and so she doesn't agree with Hochul. Mills directly told Biden she had no problem with his age, but that she was not confident in his run-up against Donald Trump. Ned Lamont of Connecticut asked what his path forward was, citing a need to make the case for him to be able to continue to his constituents. So there's multiple governors said that Hochul spoke out of turn, that it was not unanimous support, that Hochul lied, that apparently this meeting with the governors freaked out some of the governors. When it's one thing when you see somebody on television, even when they're bad, and then when you see them in person, it's worse. And then you see how the people are handling them around. So now Hochul got a little bit of a break because today, is the 4th of July. It's not just a holiday. Since the 4th of July falls on Thursday, it's like a 4 or 5 day weekend for a lot of people. So she might get through this without being exposed, but it is a slow news day because of the 4th of July, and CNN's all over this Biden story. So Hochul may get really hardcore busted today, maybe, over her lie that she said there was unanimous support behind Biden continuing his candidacy, and the other governors are saying that is not true at all. So we're going to start to get leaked out, Steve, of what really happened in that meeting. Hochul, she is a little tyrant. She really is a terrible, terrible person. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Joe, Tampa Bay.
Hey, Joe.
The
I say Happy Independence Day, but I don't want to give any credit to Will Smith. What a creep. But Happy 4th of July. So what you're saying basically is Jill is going to resign Monday. You always say, how many times you say Jill, where's...
Wait a minute. Are you the guy who's the self-promoted our best caller? Is this him, Mike? Is that the same guy? I'm not sure. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna go. What is that guy's name? I forgot his name. George. Is this George? Let me tell you something. Okay, George. Oh, he hung up, but he hung up. He's still listening. George, you suck as a caller, and you got through 3 times today. I know it's screenless. It's a holiday and all that stuff. If you call again, you're done. Okay? If you call again today, you're done. Well, I hope he calls again because I don't like talking to him. He's a show killer. He sucks the life out of a show. But if you call again today, you're done. Okay? You won't be on the air anymore. All right? It's one warning, and I understand that you probably don't have a lot of self-control, and I know that urge to call back. But if you call in again and you get on the air, you're done. Just to let you know. 3 times in one day. It'd be one thing if he was interesting, but he's not interesting. All right, I want to tell everybody about Jupiter Joe Thomas. The reason I highlight Jupiter Joe with Joe Thomas is, one, it's easier to remember his website, right, jupiterjoe.com. But the people that live in Jupiter, who lives in Jupiter? Don Jr. and Kim Guilfoyle. Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, Steve, has his own 18-hole golf course in his backyard. I mean, that's the kind of people that are in Jupiter. And, when you're taking financial advice, you want to take advice from someone who lives in Tiger Woods' neighborhood, Don Jr.'s neighborhood, okay? That's right. And that's Joe Thomas. He's a top guy. And the reason I say that, it's not to be fun or funny. When you're taking advice from someone, you want to take advice from someone who's successful, all right? And whatever it is you want to be successful in. And you want to be successful in your retirement, you want to take advice from someone that lives in Don Jr. and Tiger Woods' neighborhood. And that's Jupiter Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas, he's absolutely amazing. He has been a retirement planning expert for over 30 years. He's a 5-time qualifying member of the $1 Million Roundtable, which is achieved by less than 1% of all financial advisors in the world. So he's a top guy. And he's offering you 2 things for free. 1, free copies of his book, The Retirement Know-It-All, and free phone consultations. You can take advantage of the free phone consultation no matter where you're located in America. Here's his number, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. Or you just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious. Crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade. Nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water.
Thank you, CR.
Located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Hi, I'm Sloan Smith. We love our Florida sunshine, but a hot house? Definitely not. At All Year, we offer same-day AC service and installation. Need to stay cool? Yes, all year. Need help today? Yes, all year. Zero down financing? Yes, all year.
Just gonna be honest, everybody comes on the air and says all this great stuff, but behind the scenes, it's full-scale
Call
panic.
us today at 833 all year. That's 833 all year.
And now a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant barrier is to stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 4 degrees, cutting FPL
with the adoption of a paradigm that sometimes exempts the president from the dictates.
Insulation removal, rat proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500. Or cutmykilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone. Work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueLadyFLA.com.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig, Steve Kane here. It is the 4th of July. We are here live on the 4th of July. Sponsored today by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Save up to 80% off with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. You know, Van Jones, yeah, you're on the air, Steve. You're on the air. Van Jones, he's a liberal, no doubt about it, a hardcore liberal, worked for Obama and all that stuff. But his analysis is very honest, especially for a Democrat. And I do pay attention when Van Jones talks. He gives very accurate analysis of always what's going on inside the Democrat Party. And I'm not saying he's not a liberal and I agree with him on the issues, but when it comes to analysis, he's very honest. This was Van Jones on CNN yesterday. Listen. Let me rewind it. There we go.
Look, I'm just going to be honest. I mean, everybody comes on the air and says all this great stuff, but behind the scenes, it's full-scale panic. People are passing around legal memos, PDFs are flying back and forth on WhatsApp, trying to figure out what are the options, how can you replace Biden, how do you get him to do it in a way where he feels respected as he should be respected, who should Kamala Harris's vice president be. The conversation on air and the conversation off air are completely different. But he may not be able to get across the finish line. And a mature party has to take that into account. And that's what's happening. And so, look, I understand people want to, defend him and protect him and give him their space and the dignity to make his own choice. But there is a big conversation happening right now about how this happens, not whether.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty powerful, Steve.
Basically, what he's saying is it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, and it backs up what Tom Finton said. And that's you can always count on Van Jones to give you honest analysis of what, because, he wants the Democrat Party to survive. So anytime he's on the air, he gives honest analysis so Democrats can mobilize, right? So what he's saying going on off the air sounds like a complete state of panic. All right, let's go back to the phones, and I'm glad that there's so much. This chaos is wonderful, and no matter how it ends up, that there's so much damage being done to the Democrat machine and so many egos being bruised, they're never going to recover before the election to be organized.
Look, this is an example of we talk in our sales meetings.
Yeah.
What a lot of people are doing here is that old salesman's trick of assuming the close. What I'm hearing is it's all over.
Mm-hmm.
What people are doing is coming on the air with how they feel it has ended, and everybody's giving their own rendition of it, assuming that if they can get their story out right enough, clearly at this point in time, their story will become the reality. Does that make any?
I agree with a lot of people, but not Van Jones. Van Jones is one of Barack Obama's closest advisors and best friends. And I don't think Van Jones is trying to get a narrative going. I think he's telling us exactly what's happening.
I agree.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Basically, he understands it's over, and he's dealing with these, assuming the close.
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah.
Easing people in for a soft landing here.
Mm-hmm.
And then understanding that if enough people say the truth, this truth, on the air, the truth will become a reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, guys. How are you today? You know that you mentioned Van Jones. Hey, Steve. How are you today? The thing about Van Jones, at least the guy realizes that the cameras are running and that people are watching this, and at least he's a realist. I mean, he knows it's over. And he's trying to. These other people like Kathy Hochul to come out and say, "Oh, we have unanimous support," and 3 governors show up out of 25. What are they trying to do? They think we're stupid, you know? We have a long holiday weekend now.
If you look at who they're talking to, they're not so far wrong.
No, but she got called out immediately. Hochul lied. There's 23 Democrat governors, I believe, and there is not agreement. A lot of them want him out.
And only he came out for the little press conference.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that if this doesn't get resolved as far as whether Joe goes or stays over this holiday weekend, that we're setting up for even a bigger train wreck at the convention they're going to have down the road?
Well, they got 5 weeks till their convention.
Yeah, that should be enough to straighten it out. You would think, but I don't know.
This isn't getting straightened out so fast.
No, and you know, the egos that are being bruised right now are powerful, influential Democrats. And, you know, the Democrat convention, I don't even understand how it works. No one does. You're not supposed to know. They don't want you to know. So they can they have this super delegate system. And there's a bunch of people, you know, no matter who the delegates are pledged to, there's a bunch of people like Donna Brazile and the Clintons that are super delegates, and they can come in and wipe out all the regular delegates' votes. And
super delegate is just
you have to be one of the elite. You have to be like a president, a first lady, you know.
Wait till they throw in that little subplot of realizing that they can't pass over people because of the race issue.
Yeah.
You understand? That's what really going to hit the fan. When they realize that they can't replace a black player with a white player.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that would do the Democratic Party if they try that.
I really hope it's Kamala with If it's Kamala and Buttigieg, that's going to be beautiful. She's stupid and he's hated. Nobody likes him, even Democrats. It's going to ask her.
Guy either too. I mean, he was terrible when he went down to the town in Ohio. The guy with the chemical waste fund.
Oh my goodness! He put on the hard hat and tried to look like a construction guy.
He was riding in a tank.
Dukakis? Oh, I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say the construction worker from the Village People for some reason.
No. He reminded me of Dukakis doing his photo up in
the tank.
Terrible. But this is great. It's great radio, and it's great watching this debacle.
Well, see, this is the thing. Okay, Democrat. You know, President Trump has a rally in Miami on Tuesday at his Doral resort. By the way, if you guys want to go. You know, the Democrats don't have rallies, and their entire operation is based around the Democrat Party machine. The machine is out of order, and it's not going to get fixed. You know, it's good. Yeah. There's so much.
It's all over, but the shouting.
Yeah, and the election is 5 months away, right? 4.5 months away. It's not going to be fixed by then. Too many egos are being bruised, and too many bridges are being burned. And people, it's never going to be, it's not going to be functional. And
even that guy that does the polls on CNN, it's fun watching it because all the states are in play. Could we be looking at a bigger blowout than Reagan Monday?
I don't know, but I mean, Trump's going to win. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's going to win big in a landslide because the Democrat machine is not going to be... The Democrat machine is a get-out-the-vote machine, okay?
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Remember Humpty Dumpty?
Yeah. They can't get around that one.
And all the king's men Couldn't put Humpty back together again.
That's right. Listen, we got to take our break. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
No, Barack's not eligible. 2 terms. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today on the 4th of July holiday. Who said 10 years of no? No.
Rated plans that you can enroll in the middle of the year. That's right. You don't have to wait for open enrollment. Debbie and her family have been taking care of Steve Kane Show listeners since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call right now and go over the options. 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, iWillAdvisors.com.
The Volin Center's Life Enrichment is an inspiring place that brings meaning, motivation, and memories to every day. Life Enrichment at the Volin Center includes nutrition, education, recreation, and intergenerational programming to nurture the mind, body, and soul. Things like bridge and bingo, card and board games, crafts, exercise and gardening, field trips and community outings, and so much more. Learn more about the Volin Center's Life Enrichment at volincenter.com.
This is John from Lighthouse Medical Center, CFO and Director of Neuropathy. We want to welcome you to Lighthouse Medical Center this year. It's our 75th anniversary, and we've been able to help a lot of patients. We want to be able to help you with your neuropathy issues as well. You have numbness, burning, pain, tingling, lack of sleep, or balance issues. Please come see us and let us know if you have that problem. There's hope out there for you. We've had thousands of patients come through Lighthouse Medical Center. Being able to see the quality improved in their life and being able to help them and their family has been a blessing to us and a blessing to them, and we look forward to doing that for the next 75 years. We don't just treat neuropathy at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have a specialized knee pain program with non-surgical solutions for bone-on-bone and knee pain issues. We also treat chronic back pain, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder pain. Call for a free consultation with us today. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
The Greater South Florida Chamber Business
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Call us on hold. Stand by. And, of course, we are here on the 4th of July, sponsored today by Mike Lindell and My Pillow. Make sure to use our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. Save as much as 80% off and show Mike Lindell that he made a wise choice bringing Steve and I here on a holiday. Before we go back to the phones, listen to this, Steve. This just gives you an idea of what's going on. Did you hear what James Carville did? Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. James Carville had a conference call yesterday with top Democrat donors, right? And he told them to freeze contributions to any candidate backing Biden. He said, we have to do something about this. So, you know, what happens with donors, they don't just donate everything in a lump sum. They give it to these guys over time. Yeah, pledges. And he told them to suspend all donations and all pledges to any Democrat backing Biden. I mean, that's James Carville. He's a top guy, you know. This is beautiful. It doesn't get better than this. You know, somebody messaged me yesterday and said, why are you and Steve celebrating? We want Biden, not anybody else. The Democrat Party is in such chaos, they can hardly mount their own convention at this point, right? That's going to be plus, by the way, Steve, let's not forget about all the Palestinian terror supporters that are going to be protesting at the Democrat convention.
Rather large financial bet, if you'll remember. I'll take. I don't. It doesn't have to be
Biden, Kamala.
Kamala would do just fine for me. I'd be more than happy to take my chances versus Kamala.
I just want chaos and disarray. Could you imagine if Rush were alive analyzing? Oh my goodness. Yeah, exactly. This is wonderful. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Sounds like you.
You should be happy that he's going to run, because why should you get rid of a loser? You understand? Why? You should want him to run, because he's not going to go out. He's not going to choose to leave. He's got all the money. And you should be happy.
He doesn't have all the money. You think he's got all the money?
Doesn't have all the money.
He's in charge of all the money, and then Harris gets it if he drops out. He's not dropping out of nothing, and you should be happy.
Well, dropping out. Hold on, Steve. Steve, you went to that Riverdale Country School. Steve went to the same school as President Kennedy. I went to a crack den, Stranahan High School in Fort Lauderdale. Because I'm ridiculing you, and I want to set the stage. I want to set the stage. He said he's this guy. Hold on, I'm talking to Steve. Yeah, by as old as you are, hell yeah, I'm a kid. He just said Biden ain't going to drop out of nothing. Doesn't that mean that Biden's going to drop out of everything? Isn't that a double negative? Okay, so you think Biden's going to drop out then?
He's not dropping out.
But you said he ain't dropping out of nothing. He ain't going to drop out of nothing, which is a double negative, which means he's going to drop out of everything.
No, he's not dropping out of nothing. He's
not dropping out of nothing. Can you translate that one, Steve? He's not dropping out of nothing.
You're still a 12-year-old.
Yes.
Your wife takes care of everything you do.
Yes.
The kid.
Yes.
Grew up. Kane took advantage of your whole life.
Yes.
And you're a real loser.
Yes. Uh-huh.
No wife. You're a midget. And you have no reason to live, actually. Loser. And Kane probably got a contract with you. Every Kane's got to be dead before you got to pay him until he dies, everyone. You understand?
Do you...
When Kane dies, you got a contract, probably with him, that says that his family gets paid until you drop dead.
Oh, do you feel good yet? Do you feel better yet?
Keep
going. I enjoy this. This is wonderful. Keep going.
No, you tell your whole life to everyone in the world and you're a little Mickey Mouse guy. You should be back in Publix where you belong, actually. That's where you should have stayed there. Because you think there's something big. If it wasn't for Kane, you'd be in Publix.
This is an interesting thing for a guy that hates me so much. You seem to have been following me since I was a kid. You know my whole life story. Oh, you're laughing now.
Whole life story. Actually, you threw me off the air when I got back on. You threw me off.
I didn't take you off the air. No. I didn't take you off the air.
Years ago you did.
Years ago?
Yeah, years ago you took me off the air.
What did I do?
You blocked my phone calls.
I don't even know who you are.
Because it was 5 years ago when you do.
I have no idea who you are. No. I mean, I remember this cartoon voice. I remember the cartoon voice. Why do you, if I did not want you on the air, don't you think I would have discontinued this call already? Instead of letting you humiliate yourself? See, I was gonna ridicule you, but you're doing it yourself.
25 years old, I was retired. You understand?
Oh.
Down here with my father, who was 62. I was 25 and I was a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I own apartment buildings in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Zion.
Yeah.
First of all, no, you're...
Yes.
No, you're real...
You got it. Listen, I don't mind the insults, but now you're on repeat. You got to get some new insults. Hey, listen, thank you for following my whole life for over 30 years, okay? But I'm the one without a life. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that was an interesting call, I must say. Yeah, wasn't it? Exactly. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? I like my favorite part is I am contracted for life with the Kane family. That even after you die, I am owned by your family. I'm like an indentured servant, Steve. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
That's Dave in Virginia.
Hey, Dave.
Just thinking about Kamala and Buttigieg. You got Kamala that probably couldn't pass geography, and you got Buttigieg that let the Chinese in this country. So it could really tear them up.
Well, I said yesterday, Kamala and Buttigieg, Mayor P, got a lot in common. I told you, they both are into white guys.
Yeah.
True. They're both married to white men. Yeah, they can. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, what a great guy. Mayor Pete he's dumber than her. He just has a deep voice, and he has a little bit of vocabulary, so he says things, But if you listen closely, he says nothing. And he's a clown. Do you remember that thing he did with the bicycle, Steve? Oh my goodness, this was beautiful. He's all into this green crap, right? So he's going to the White House to have a meeting on green crap. So he has his Secret Service SUVs pull over. He gets out of the SUV and he gets a bicycle. He doesn't get it. He has the Secret Service take a bicycle out of the trunk of one of the SUV convoys that he's in. And the bicycle, it kind of looks like Pee Wee Herman's bicycle from his movie. And he puts on a bicycle helmet, which you would never see me wear, Steve. Those things that look like a toilet. He puts on a bicycle helmet, and he rode Pee Wee Herman's bike a block to the White House to show that he's living what he's preaching about the green crap. Meanwhile, some people are catching him on the cell phone he's a clown. He is a clown.
Him and Joe should get together and take a bike ride.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, all right.
Can you imagine what the next couple of months are going to be like?
This is great. You got to really. The Democrat Party has never been in such chaos. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What's your name? Yeah.
Brian?
Yes.
Steve? All right, this is Steve from New York. Look, I've been listening to the show this morning, and I keep flashing I see the name Susan Rice in front of me. Is anybody worrying about her? What the hell is she up to right now?
What do you mean, Susan Rice? Obama's girl. What about her? What about her?
Well, the last I know, she was working in the private Obama White House.
Yeah. I forgot what happened to Susan Rice. She made a deal with Netflix. She was the one that was the face of Benghazi. I don't know. I'll look into it. I don't know what she's up to.
Quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Quiet, and I can't believe that her name is not popping up in all this mess.
Well, it just did. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Now, I'm going to ask you, it's the 4th of July, and I'm going to ask you a very important question in this audience. Do you or someone you know suffer from neuropathy? You know, neuropathy is god-awful. It really, I don't know if it's officially classified as a disability, but it should be. Don't you think, Steve, neuropathy? I mean, it is a disability, isn't it? You know, and your doctor will tell you there's no treatment for neuropathy. That's it. I mean, I've known many people with neuropathy. They've had, not just you, Steve, and their doctors, oh, that's your life now. Go home, get used to the pain, the suffering, the dizziness, the falling down, the tingling in the hands. And that's your life now, torture. You're living, yeah, you're done. Your life, so that's your new life. Go home, get in bed, never get out again. And your doctor's a quack, because Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano not only have a treatment for neuropathy, they have an effective treatment that works. I've seen it work on Steve and many of our listeners. Okay, and I've met listeners of ours that are almost in tears because they no longer have the neuropathy symptoms. They kept them bedridden. People are bedridden for years with neuropathy. Lighthouse Medical Center, by the way, their treatment for neuropathy, they understand that if you have neuropathy, you may not be able to come into the office. Might be difficult for you to travel. You probably aren't driving, right? And even if you get a ride, it's probably not comfortable for you to drive somewhere. That's why you don't have to go into the office. If you can't make it into the office in Pompano, that's fine. By the way, no matter where you're located, whether it's local, another part of Florida, or even in another state, Lighthouse Medical can help rid you of all of those neuropathy symptoms. Now, I'm going to give you the number. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Then you get to take advantage of the no-charge consultation. The number is 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Good morning, Ryan. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How the metal's looking today?
Metal's looking great.
Now, I wanted to ask you about a couple things. Now, listeners call and ask me questions. I know nothing. Call William Youngerman. They've got all the answers on these things. But there's two things I want to ask you about. I've heard from people. One, pre-33 gold. Do you deal in pre-33 gold?
Absolutely. We've made a market with pre-1933 gold since 1969, or 67 actually, and that's one of our specialties. We do deal a lot in the old U.S. $20 gold pieces, $10, $5, and as well as world gold coins from prior to 1933. And we make a very fair margin. In fact, we had somebody get a quote on our prices, and they were amazingly, we were over $500 per ounce cheaper than what some of the marketers are selling pre-33 gold for. So that was an eye-opener for us.
Wow.
These TV ads you see, they're charging huge markups on pre-1933 gold, and there's absolutely no reason to pay that kind of premiums. We have it in stock for immediate delivery at very reasonable and wholesale prices for our Steve Kane listeners.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that only are like exclusive pre-33 gold. That's amazing. $500 less. Yeah, but I'm sure the TV guy are limiting it to 5 coins per call at this point. Now listen, William Youngerman, the number 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. The address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. All right, that's it. All right, take care. Take care.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on.
Man, we should come in on more holidays, Steve. I mean, the calls have been spectacular today.
It's interesting making light of it, but the bottom line is we just have to recognize that we have to hope that none of these jokers decide during this period of vulnerability, because let's face it, I mean, we are open for anything.
Oh, God, yeah. It's true. It is. It's frightening. It is frightening. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. We have 10 minutes left. We will be here live tomorrow as well. And remember, Friday's show is open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything is fair game on Friday's show, which is tomorrow. Okay, so let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Mike from Houston calling for retirement. How are you guys?
Oh, hey, Mike. How's that retirement going? It's like not even 8 a.m. out there yet, and you're up.
Yeah, I was painting lawn gnomes yesterday.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, so plenty of spare time on my hands. Hey, this is a thought that I had about if Biden does actually resign on Monday. My prediction is with Kamala being elevated to the presidency, she's going to pick, I think, Nancy Pelosi. At least it would make sense to me.
No way. I'll tell you why. Nancy Pelosi. No, I'll tell you about Nancy Pelosi, okay? There's a photograph of Nancy Pelosi at a big deal political event in San Francisco where she met Kamala for the first time. She was introduced to Kamala as Willie Brown's girlfriend. And Willie Brown was married. And, Willie Brown, former mayor of San Francisco, people don't really remember Willie Brown. I don't even know if he's still alive. But back when Clinton was president, he was the mayor of San Francisco. He's black. He was one of the top 5 most prominent Democrats in America. Anytime anything happened, they went to Willie Brown to get his opinion. And Nancy Pelosi, like her husband that has all these weird events happen when she's out of town, is a snob. And there's no way she's going to play second fiddle to Willie Brown's girlfriend. That just ain't going to happen.
Or another woman. What I was thinking was then in when the election rolls around, Pamela will be eased out of the president's slot, and then Nancy Pelosi would run on the ticket at.
You must read Tom Clancy novels or something, because this all sounds fantastical.
That's the state of politics in America today. I mean, everything that has come to pass in the last 10 years, I would have said, no way can this happen. No.
She's see how you've been retired like 3 days and your mind's already going to mush, man. This is what happens when you retire. Nancy Pelosi the other day did an interview on MSNBC. She was completely drunk, and there was some video of her walking out to her car outside. She couldn't even stand up. You're going to replace this senile old coot Joe Biden with a drunken old hag? I don't know. That's not a very.
We're replacing one desiccated old fossilized fool for another, but that seems to be what the Democratic Party is all about anymore. I mean, look at their array of candidates. You've got Newsom out in California, this extreme left-wing lunatic, and then just look. I can't think of a single balanced Democrat in the whole of American politics. Now, that's how frightening it is. So, I don't know, maybe it's a good thing. I mean, but what scares me is when you have moments of chaos and confusion like that, this is an opportunity for your adversaries. It is an opportunity for Russia, China, North Korea. It's an opportunity for them to act, and we're vulnerable right now is what I'm trying to say.
That's true. You're right. Yeah, all right. I appreciate the call. Yeah, but there's with Kamala as president, though, Kim Jong-un and Putin, they'll respect her. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Fourth, guys. It's JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ.
Hey, Brian, Steve. From earlier in the show, Brian, I think you had asked about you were having a mind block, I think, on Judicial Watch. The guy's name who originally founded it was Larry Klayman.
Yes, Larry Klayman. Yes.
And he's now with, I think it's Freedom Watch.
Yeah.
When it comes to, Cocaine Joe here and him getting out or staying in, to the Democrats, I mean, they're all. I mean, I kind of look at it like this: they're crazy. They're kind of raised crazy. They all kind of, huddle around each other in their craziness. And a lot of them, they don't know they're crazy. It's just like you were saying the other day about Kamala, that she doesn't. She thinks she doesn't know she's stupid. There's a lot of that going.
That's how stupid she is.
Exactly. So, I think they all think they can fly, but it's when you got Joe and his advisors are his Captain Pornstar, his son, and you got Captain Pronoun she from Communist China. Those are like his two top advisors, and the insanity that's going on. I don't know how any Democrat can even think. It's just all so, it's amazingly insane. It's so, I can't imagine, even some crazy Hollywood writers, I don't think anybody could ever come up with this crap. I mean,
Well, on today's show, what James Carville's telling top Democrat donors, suspend all donations to any politician supporting Biden. Van Jones detailed what's going on behind the scenes to unseat Biden. I mean, it's amazing what's happening.
Yeah, you put a wig, you put a wig on Carville. I think he might be, in a little booze. He might be Nancy Pelosi. The guy looks like the Crypt Keeper.
His ankles and legs are too skinny to be Pelosi. Have you seen her? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's pretty damn sad. And the guy that called in today. About Reagan and talking about what a way. I mean, I feel like telling that guy, don't waste my time. If you're going to bring up something about videos, at least, have the decency. If you're going to lead us along, have the damn video. Okay, I've watched more videos of Ronald Reagan. I imagine a lot of people have, really. His humor, I mean, his joke, the joke about the kittens, the Democrat kittens and the Republican kittens, hysterical joke. And he was actually sharp as his.
I don't remember that one.
Kitten joke. Well, it's about there's a kid outside the Democrat rally when he's selling Democrat kittens. And then to be quick, 3 weeks later he's there, and the Republicans are in the same venue raising money, and he's selling Republican kittens.
Yeah.
And the reporter asks him, "Hey, what kind of a scam are you running here? What's the difference between the Democrat kittens and the Republican kittens?" And the kid says, "Well, now they have their eyes open."
Yeah, Reagan's got endless lines. That's a good one. I like that one. I've never heard that one before. I don't remember. One of his lines was when a Democrat sees a fat man standing next to a skinny man, they think the fat man got fat because he exploited the skinny man. Right? I mean, that's how they think. Yeah. He had a lot of good ones. But Ronald Reagan, he was 1,000% mentally fit through his entire presidency until the last day. Those are liberal lies about President Reagan.
One of his best performances, that at least I thought, like spur of the moment. Do you remember when Nancy fell off the stage at the White House? Do you remember that at all? The chair. She was sitting in a chair. Vladimir Horowitz was there, the maestro. He's the most famous pianist in the world. He was there. You look up, Ronald Reagan, Nancy falls off the stage, Vladimir Horowitz. You can find that video.
I'll look for it.
It's perfect. It's perfect, Ronald Reagan. Such humor, and Nancy played into it. It was hysterical. You'll love that video. Anyway,
I appreciate it. All right, you take care. Well, great calls today. As I said, we will be live tomorrow on the 5th of July. And it'll be open phones tomorrow. Now, we are here on our 4th of July holiday because Mike Lindell from MyPillow sponsored today's show and invited us in. So if you guys could go to MyPillow.com, there's great deals right there. And show your support for Mike Lindell supporting us. Because Mike Lindell, for years now, has been a great supporter of the Steve Kane Show and everything that we do. And that's why he brought us in today. So go to MyPillow.com and use our promo code Kane and check out KANE. There are huge deals. There's hundreds of items there. I talk about some of the more popular and my favorites and some of the best deals, but there's so many things there. There's over 200 items, in fact. And just last night, I ordered Steve the MyPillow socks. They have white and black socks, and they have the low ankle ones. I got those. So, there's so many things there. There's you can also use our promo code Kane at his other website, the My Store, where there's a lot of things there too. But show Mike Lindell your support for his support of us, because without Mike Lindell, we would not have been here live today. All right, that's promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at mypillow.com. Okay, so we'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I mean, there was amazing breaking news yesterday. I can't imagine, Steve, anything's going to break on the 4th of July, but things are getting so nuts around the White House, you never know.
Well, I wouldn't underestimate what could happen today.
Well, remember what Obama said, never underestimate Joe's ability to F things up. That's right. That's an Obama, end of quote. End of quote. All right, we'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane's been here. I'm Brian Craig. See you tomorrow morning.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar. WIRK.
All right, guys, if you're new, subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, please like the video before you go. All right? I will see you all later. Take care.